Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We are coming on the air live now. Welcome to the show. FLA Estate 855-352-3782. Yes, I know.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show,
here we go.
Dial 1-888-GO-KANE.
The 24th. Oh my goodness.
That's 1-888-GO.
Yes, yes.
Now, here's...
No, Brian Craig. Close. Steve will be here later today. Welcome to the show. It's Monday morning, the 24th day of Black History Month. Black History Month getting an extra day this year, as it does every 4 years. We're in a leap year. It'll be 29 days in February this month. Welcome. So much going on, so much happening. The Democrat Party, we are witnessing history. Because for the very first time, we may see a mainstream major political party be no more, as Bernie Sanders is the confirmed frontrunner. That's right, the confirmed frontrunner. That's Bernie Sanders, and the Democrats and the media are in a complete meltdown. They hate Bernie Sanders more than Trump. They fear Bernie Sanders more than they fear Trump. So we're going to talk about that today. Chris Matthews, oh my goodness. Chris Matthews. What did Chris Matthews really say? We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. And the rally, how many people saw the president in India? You boy. It's making that rally in India for President Trump has so many people in it. It's making one of our Keep America Great rallies here in America look like, a Joe Biden gathering. I mean, my goodness. There were so many people there. So lots happening, lots going on. Democrats very confused. They're in disarray. It's the final days of the Democrat Party, as we know. So there's so much happening, so much going on. I had a great week. You guys have a great week. I had a very good weekend. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig, on YouTube, where I live stream the radio show. And also, I'm live streaming right now with a live chat room in high definition. You can watch us there on any device, a computer, a mobile device, an iPad, a tablet. You can even watch on your smart TV. Brian Craig on the YouTube, people. Make sure you subscribe. If you're new to the program, this is the most pro-Donald Trump radio show anywhere in America. We are live in Morning Drive, 6 until 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, with overnight rebroadcast, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. Oh, man, so much happening, so much going on, and I'm just so excited. I almost don't know where to begin. Well, you know what? Let's begin with Chris Matthews. Chris Matthews, it's really sad, Chris Matthews. He's all jammed up over there on MSNBC, and what he is going through now may result in his retirement. And, he's got these radical lunatics over there, Lawrence O'Donnell, Rachel Maddow, and poor little Chris Matthews said one little thing, and he's in all kinds of hot water. People are calling for him to be removed, et cetera, et cetera. And I imagine this new wave of communists over there, these millionaire communists. Is Lawrence O'Donnell a millionaire? If he's not, he's got to be close to it. Been on MSNBC forever. But these wealthy Manhattan communists, I imagine they've wanted to get rid of Chris Matthews for a long time. He's like an old fossil to them. And it's really a sad thing. Chris Matthews goes way back. He was a speechwriter for Jimmy Carter when he was president, which tells you how far back he goes. He worked for many years for Tip O'Neill, the Democrat Speaker of the House. And Chris Matthews' show on MSNBC at one time was the political show of record in America and on cable news. He was on twice. He was on at 5, and then again, I think it was he on at 5 and 7? I think that's what they used to do, or was it 4 and 7? I think it was 5 and 7. That's how big that show was. His show was so big, it was on twice. And it used to be all right. And, MSNBC used to be a good place. And then Tim Russert died. And after Tim Russert died, who had management control over NBC News, it went down the tubes. They had some freaks on there while Russert was alive. They had Oberman and they had Ed Schultz, but they were in check. It was rational over there, MSNBC. And then when Tim Russert died, the great Tim Russert, who was a Democrat, but he was not like these Democrats today, MSNBC lost its way real quick, and it's never recovered. And Chris Matthews is in a lot of hot water. And, it's amazing. Here he is. He defends a man who committed vehicular manslaughter, Ted Kennedy. He does all these things. He's not in any trouble. Then he says one thing, and they got him all jammed up. And I think what he is being accused of is inaccurate. What they're saying is that Chris Matthews accused Bernie Sanders supporters of being Nazis, brown shirts. Well, I don't believe that's what he said at all. I'm going to play you the clip of what Chris Matthews said so you can hear it in context. I got a different Starbucks today. I've been getting the triple vanilla latte, which is way too expensive. Oh my gosh, it's so expensive. I didn't realize how much the triple vanilla latte was. And it's got a little bit too much caffeine. On Friday's show, at the end of the show, I was like so high on caffeine from that triple vanilla latte. So today I got myself a hot blonde Americano, no milk in it. But it's still got, so I don't know how this one's going to do. So I'm just, I don't know. I'm a little gun shy on the Starbucks. I really need to weed off of all caffeine, all coffees, but I just can't do it. So anyway, Chris Matthews, let me play you what Chris Matthews said, which was a big nothing. He's talking about Bernie Sanders win in Nevada. And by the way, not only is Bernie Sanders the front runner, he's won all three races, regardless of how they have manipulated. Someone said, I don't look like a vanilla latte. I don't look like a latte kind of guy. My daughter is big into Starbucks, and she turned me on to the vanilla latte. And I got to tell you, sometimes when I order the triple vanilla latte, I feel a little weird. Because doesn't it seem effeminate to order a blonde or a triple vanilla latte? Do real men order lattes? These are things I question myself sometimes. But they are good. They're so expensive. Do you know how much a triple vanilla latte cost? Oh my gosh. I load money into my Starbucks app, so I kind of don't realize it. And then I, ran out of money and points on my app and had to load some cash into the Starbucks app. And a triple vanilla latte cost over $6. Over $6. Can you believe? For a cup of coffee? I know it's a big, tall cup of coffee with an extra shot of espresso in it. But it's over $6. That's like robbery. They're robbing people. But anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. Chris Matthews, Bernie Sanders has won all three of these votes, the caucuses and the primary. He won the majority of votes in each and every one of them. They have monkeyed around with the results to make it seem as if he has not won all of them, but he has won all of them. And it seems that there's no stopping him. And there's a lot of reasons why, which we'll talk about on the show today. And Chris Matthews gave a perfectly legitimate analogy as to what's going on. I do not believe he called Bernie Sanders supporters brown shirts. I don't believe he called Bernie Sanders supporters Nazis, but that's what they're doing because they want to get rid of Chris Matthews. So let me play what Chris Matthews said that has him in so much trouble. He's actually trending. Chris Matthews is trending on Twitter. This is it. This is Chris Matthews and the comment that got him in all this trouble.
On the other hand, did his job. He got more than a majority of that 67%. That is the name of the game. It is pretty much over unless that changes. I was reading last night, Brian, I know you're a history guy too. I'm reading last night about the fall of France in the summer of 1940. General Renault calls them...
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the commercial, so let me go back a little bit. I'm sorry about that. Hold on.
I know you're a history guy too. I'm reading last night about the fall of France in the summer of 1940. And the General Renault calls up Churchill and says, it's over. And Churchill said, how can it be? You got the greatest army in Europe. How can it be over? He said, it's over. So I had that suppressed feeling. I can't be as wild as Carville, but he is damn smart. And I think he's damn right on this one. Joy.
Okay, that's it. That's all Chris Matt. Now, I don't want to go out there and be a big defender of MSNBC and I don't want to be a big defender of Chris Matthews, but the guy's getting all jammed up. He didn't call anyone brown shirts. He didn't call Bernie Sanders supporters Nazis. He was using an analogy that Bernie Sanders has beaten the Democrat get out the vote army, which is the Democrat vote machine is very well organized and it's very large. And they've got statisticians and they got everything down. They know exactly how to do it. And Bernie Sanders, without the support of the Democrat Party, in fact, the Democrat Party has been mobilized against him for years now, he was able to run right over them. And Chris Matthews, this could very well end with Chris Matthews off the air of MSNBC in retirement. And then they'll have him in, like they have Tom Brokaw. He'll be like the professor type who will come in for a voice of rationality from time to time, but they're looking to get rid of him so they can plug in some, young left-wing socialist. But that's all he said. I think it was a legitimate analogy and kind of accurate, and because, what Bernie Sanders has gone up against with the Democrats in these past two elections is unbelievable. So, even the Drudge Report. Have you guys seen the Drudge Report today? Oh man, the Drudge Report headline. Let me pull it up. Let me get this exactly right. It's Bernie Sanders taking selfies with some women, and one looks pretty young with some strange top on, and the headline says, "This is Drudge. It's the Socialist Democrats now." That's what it says on Drudge. It's the Socialist Democrats now. It is. It is. And I know a lot of people have said the Democrats have been a socialist party for a long time, and in certain respects, I mean, if you want to include, all the New Deal programs and some of the Great Society. There's aspects of socialism there, but it's never been a socialist party because the people that are the establishment of the party are not socialists. They don't want socialists. They've been catering their message to socialist. Okay? They've been catering their message to socialist. They never, ever intended on the socialist whose votes they have been courting all these years to get elected to Congress and to be nominees of their party. They were just people, they were telling them what they wanted to hear to get their vote. One thing I'm interested in, I haven't looked at these breakdowns yet. I don't even know if they're available. But how's he doing among the Latino vote? I'm wondering, the Democrats have worked very hard to register illegals to vote. These illegals have come from socialist countries. Do you think he's winning the illegals who vote in the Democrat Party? I'd like to know. I haven't seen any of the breakdowns on the ethnic breakdowns of these of the Democrat votes, in particular Nevada. But Nevada and Iowa, there's a lot of illegals in both. Nevada because of the location, and Iowa because it's a farming state. A lot of illegals there. And I imagine he is winning the illegal vote. He's certainly winning the young people vote so far as the Democrat vote. He's still not going to beat Trump. I'm not concerned. Don't get me wrong. And there's a lot of momentum behind Bernie, but he's got a large momentum and a small movement known as the Democrat Party today. Trump's going to go right over them. But the Democrat Party, as we know it, will no longer exist with Bernie Sanders as their nominee. And yeah, I know. Because he is not a Democrat. He's a Democratic Socialist. So if the nominee of the party becomes a Democratic Socialist, it's not the Democrat Party, it's the Democrat Socialist Party. And as the nominee of the party, he is the unofficial leader of that party if he wins the nomination. And there's going to be a lot of hell to pay. What's going on with the Democrats is similar but worse than what happened with the Republicans in 2016, right? The Republican establishment was fighting to keep control. The Democrat establishment's fighting to keep control, but they can't stop. They've lost. They've lost, and there's no compromise. Trump's a real conservative. So even though he defeated the establishment, it hasn't been a major transformation of the party other than from a losing party to a party of winners, the Republicans. The Democrat Party will change forever and will no longer exist. The Democrat part of the Democrat Socialist Party will be the fringe. with Bernie Sanders winning the nomination. So what are they going to do now? Your thoughts on this? Do you believe the Democrats will steal the nomination from Bernie Sanders? Will they do this through a brokered convention? 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. So far as Chris Matthews, should Chris Matthews be in hot water? They've got petitions. There's movements against him. He's in all kinds of trouble over there at MSNBC. I don't think Chris Matthews said anything wrong. Anything wrong. And they're all over in his business. So your thoughts on those issues certainly are welcome. Our number again, toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. I want to tell you about Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is absolutely amazing. You know, I know a lot of people out there have done what I've done over the years. Have there been times that you've been driving on tires that you shouldn't be driving on because tires are so expensive, unless, of course, you're shopping at Friendly Tire? I know I have throughout the entire time I've owned cars. Before I found Friendly Tire, many, many times, I've been driving on the road with tires that were long past their expiration date of wear because tires can be so expensive. I found Friendly Tire more than 10 years ago. I had a Jeep Wrangler, four-wheel drive with the big four-wheel tires on it, and it was so cool when I bought it. And then when it came time to buy tires, I was in total freak-out mode, and I went on a search to find tires that were reasonably priced, and that is when I found Friendly Tire over 10 years ago. I've been a customer ever since. Every car in my family not only is driving on tires from Friendly Tire, but have been driving on tires from Friendly Tire for over a decade. My extended family, too. I've been telling my friends about Friendly Tire for a long, long time, and they've been with us here on the Steve Kane Show for about a year now, and I know so many of you are customers of Friendly Tire. The prices are out of this world. Listen to this. These are the prices now. Now, on my daughter Emily's car, when she needed new tires, the lowest price I could find around town was $135 a tire. Friendly Tire's price, just $65 a tire. That's right, a $70 savings per tire. The savings per tire greater than the cost per tire. And again, these prices at Friendly Tire are out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire does not charge you to mount the tire. They don't charge you to balance the tire, and they don't charge you for the disposal of your old tires. My wife's car, the cheapest price I could find around town for new tires for her car, $165 a tire. At Friendly Tire, brand new tires, out the door and on the road, just $75 a tire. That's a $90 savings per tire. Steve needed tires for his van. The lowest price we could find around town, $175. Friendly Tire's price, out the door and on the road, just $75 a tire. Brand new tires, $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. These prices are all new tire prices. Friendly Tire also has thousands of good used tires in stock, starting at just $30 for most sizes. And they also do tire repairs, which most places just won't do. But Friendly Tire does, and repairs start at just $7. So listen, call or stop by. Their website, friendlytire.net. The phone number, 954-977-9445. We have listeners driving from over an hour away for tires at Friendly Tire because these prices are so low. The number listed at stevekaneshow.com, as is the address if you want to plug it into your phone navigation system, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Friendly Tire is located at 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate. 15th Street is just north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of State Road 7, 441. And again, friendlytire.net is the website. They don't charge you to balance the tire. They don't charge you to mount the tire, nor the disposal of your old tire. The price Mike gives you and those prices I gave you, flat prices out the door and on the road. No added charges. All right, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. We'll take our break, and when we get back, much more to talk about. Your calls are welcome at 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Don't go anywhere.
The diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to
Hey, Kathy, you're up early.
high-quality
Main Street
diabetic
Moment, that's my
shoes
wife.
with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's TheSole authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Wednesday, February 26th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve King.
All right. Yeah, you know, Wednesday is the day. Come meet Steve Kane and me Wednesday at Attorney Barry Siegel's seminar. That's right. I'll be at the 2 o'clock seminar. Steve will be at the 10 o'clock seminar. We will see you there. All right. So the Democrats just in complete and utter disarray. And you know what? They have no chance of recovering. They have no chance of recovering. And they have no chance of recovering for a great many reasons. Mainly, they have been brainwashing America's youth into being socialist for a long time. For a long, long time. Mostly, I would say it got hardcore. I know a lot of people disagree about when and how. Most of the brainwashing into socialism, I think, began during Obama. And the youth vote, which a lot of it's going to Trump, but the ones that are not woke and not voting for Trump, the Democrat vote of the left, they grew up under Barack Obama, who was a socialist. Remember, he told Joe the plumber, everyone's got to have some skin in the game. Sometimes you've got to spread the wealth around. Remember the ladies that were lined up for their Obama money and all of that? Okay, so you've got a generation of young Democrats that are completely brainwashed into socialism. They don't understand what it is. They didn't grow up during the Cold War or even in the early aftermath of it, so they have no recollection of these socialist countries. Now, there's this clip of Bernie praising Castro, which I'll play a little later, to Anderson Cooper on 60 Minutes. And I saw a headline in one of the conservative news websites that said, "Goodbye, Florida," because Bernie is praising Castro. I don't think people outside of Florida know this, and you know what? A lot of people here in Florida don't know this either. The Cuban vote is not what it used to be. The Cuban vote is not what it used to be at all. There was a time where communism in Cuba, Castro, was a big deal among Florida Cubans. And it is with older Cubans. But if you get into Cubans that are under the age of 40, they're just like the rest of the snowflake millennials, okay? They're a couple of generations removed from the Castro era. They're no longer exiles. Most of those exiles are dead or dying. And the Cuban vote under 40 is not a firm Republican anti-communist vote any longer. And that their role in Florida elections is not what it once was. Dade County, which is where Miami is, goes Democrat a lot, mostly. So that, so Bernie praising Castro has no impact on the Florida vote, even though I know people are claiming that today. Not at all. Not at all. You find young millennial Cubans, and they may not be as high of a percentage of socialist as in your typical millennials, but there's more than you would realize. They don't even understand any of this stuff anymore. So it's not like the old days. Florida is a firm Republican state. The only reason this has been a swing state is Democrat voter fraud. All right. We have had Republican governors for 22 years in Florida. Not only have we had Republican governors, which is a statewide election, of course, but we've had a Republican-controlled state legislature, both houses, since 1998, 22 years, when Jeb Bush won election for governor the first time. He ran against a Democrat. Democrats had been running Florida for a long time, and there was a Republican revolution. And this was a swing states only because of voter fraud in Palm Beach and Broward County, in particular Broward County. And now we've got Republicans running both of those election offices. So Florida has not been a toss-up state for a long time, even though it's still characterized as that. This is a strong, strong Republican state. If it wasn't, we would not have had Florida governors who were Republicans since 1998, when Bill Clinton was impeached, 22 years ago. So, I mean, this is insanity when I hear some of the analysis. It's so interesting when you hear analysis about a place where you have a lot of intimate knowledge, like I do here in Florida, how off all of the analysis is. And I was watching on Fox yesterday. They had a guy on Fox yesterday who writes for The Hill, and he was talking about Bernie becoming the front runner and how shocked the media are. And he was, I don't remember who it was. He writes for The Hill. He's a familiar guy. I just don't know his name. And he was talking about how the media haven't been following Bernie's campaign. And they are surprised and shocked, like they were with Trump's rise in 2016, that they're out of touch. Well, it's not just that the media are out of touch. The media are arrogant and think that they are the kingmakers. They think they're powerful. The media believe they're influencers, and they're not any longer. They were all every pundit and every media outlet and all the polls on election night were predicting a Hillary victory over Trump. And you know how it all went during that election cycle. They couldn't have been more wrong. They've been calling Biden the front runner for how long has he been in it? And he hasn't even hardly placed in these votes that have taken place so far. The media are no longer influential. The pundits are all wrong. Every pundit has said Biden was the front runner, Trump was going to lose. They're all wrong. As I was talking on Friday with Steve about Bloomberg. Bloomberg didn't have the biggest defeat in that debate. I'm not going to go through the whole thing from Friday. I was talking about who really were the biggest losers in the debate. The pundits all say he is. The pundits have been wrong for at least 5 years. That's when Trump came down the escalator. When have the pundits been right since Trump came down the escalator on any issue whatsoever? They've been wrong on every issue. Stormy Daniels, Michael Avenatti, Mueller's report, the impeachment trial, Biden being the front runner, Hillary's going to win. When have the pundits and the media that employ the pundits been right for the past 5 years? They've all been wrong. You know what? And they're going to be wrong today, tomorrow, next week, next year, too. They're out of touch with reality. The mainstream media no longer feel the pulse of America. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're so agenda-based now in their little club with the establishment of the Democrat Party that they don't get out and they don't see what's going on the campaign trail. You know, I was talking to Sarah from Colorado, called me on the air on Friday. She was at the Trump rally in Colorado last week, and she witnessed something with the media that I saw at the Trump rally here in Florida Thanksgiving week, that the media, when the president is talking, do this silent protest. They talk amongst themselves. You know, the media stage is right in front of Trump. You don't see it on TV, but he's looking at the media while he's speaking because they're directly in front of him. They're talking amongst themselves. They lounge back in their seats. They look away from him. Some of them look like they're sleeping, and it's a silent protest to try to distract him. The media have lost it. And the media have become activists. Maybe they always were, but they're hardcore activists now. They're activists against Trump and for the Democrat Party establishment. And Bernie Sanders has proven them wrong again and shown that they no longer are influential. If the news media got back into the business of news, just reporting the news, just the facts, ma'am, nothing but the facts, maybe they would gain influence over time. But now, everybody views them as what they are, partisan hacks. Every one of the cable networks is basically DNC TV. Even Fox News a lot of time, but it's DNC TV, MSDNC, CDNC, you know, and people don't believe them. They don't trust them. There was a time when newsmen were trusted. Was it Cronkite who was the most trusted man in America? Who, think about this, out of all the mainstream media, let's include CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and the networks. Out of the news people, who do you trust? Who do you honestly trust? Who can you say when they report something, you trust them? You know who I used to like? I used to like Carl Cameron, and he left Fox, and he's become out of the closet liberal jerk. Who can you trust in television news today? I'm not a news person. I'm an editorialist. I'm an opinion maker. I'm not talking about opinion people. I'm talking about news people. Is there anyone you trust from any of the news outlets? Let me hear some names. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1. Give me a call. Tell me who you trust in media. 1-888-GO-CANE1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E. That's right, 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. We will take our break and be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Does your life insurance policy only pay someone if you die? The new life insurance policies allow you to access your benefits even while you were still alive. Due to changes in the insurance industry, all life insurance carriers in 2020 have adjusted their premiums to your advantage. Life insurance rates have been lowered due to the updated mortality tables. People are living longer in America, and that means life insurance premiums are lower. Call Debbie and Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080 to learn more and for a free review of your existing life insurance policy. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, mom and dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at The Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, The Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living.
Hey, make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed, all right?
As well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, The Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at The Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Wednesday, February 26th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855.
Oh, that's awesome, Cheryl.
Estate 855.
Well, what do you mean trying?
82.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Oh, yeah. This Wednesday is the day Attorney Barry Siegel's 2 workshops. The Medicaid Planning Workshop is at 10 a.m. The Revocable Living Trust Workshop is at 2 p.m. They're both at the same place, the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. Steve will be at the 10 o'clock. And I will be at the 2 o'clock, so you can come and meet us. If you want to meet Steve, come at 10. If you want to meet me, come at 2. But you should come anyway to get all of the great information that is available at these workshops. The Courtyard by Marriott in Boca is immediately west of I-95 on the north side of Glades Road. Okay, it's very easy to find. And it's completely free, you are all invited. Attorney Barry Siegel is there with his staff. You get to ask questions of Attorney Barry Siegel while he is there, which is also a very nice thing to do. If you can ask questions of the attorney at no charge while you're there, that's always a good thing, isn't it? I think it is. It's a good opportunity. And you will get a lot of great information. I've been to a lot of these workshops of Barry's, and even though I have been more than once, each and every time I go, I learn something, okay? So even though it's free, Barry asked that you call his office just to let them know you're coming so they know how large of a room and how many tables and how many chairs that they need, okay? And they also have refreshments, drinks, coffee, bagels, and things like this. They want to know how much they need to bring. Barry's office number is 855-FLA-3782. 1-855-FLA-3782. That's 1-855-352-3782. Okay, you're all invited. And you really should come. You'll get, no matter how old or young you are, you're never too old and you're never too young to make the type of plans that Attorney Barry Siegel can help you make. So we'll see you there this Wednesday. I'll be there at 2. Steve will be there at 10. All right? Yeah, so where were we? This is just a disaster for the Democrats. Of course, it's great for us because there's a real cleansing going on because, the Democrat Party is, it's not just Bernie. AOC, what AOC is doing to the Democrat Party is also incredibly destructive. It's just not something we're seeing immediately right now. We're going to start to see it during the Democrat primaries in congressional races in both houses. AOC is now has a new PAC, a political action committee, whose mission is to primary out Democrats that are not liberal enough by her standards, AOC standards. Isn't that something? And that means she is targeting incumbents. That's right, and targeting incumbents. And we wish her a lot of luck because if she knocks incumbents out of the running, that means whatever Republican is running in that seat is not running against an incumbent, but running against a newbie. You got 2 newbies. And there'll be a lot of division because there's fighting inside of the Democrat primary process in these congressional races. So AOC and all of her arrogance, AOC is leading a revolution of youth-minded socialist, okay? That's what she thinks she's doing. She doesn't care about the establishment. She's a revolutionary. I think she views herself as Eva Peron. I think that she does her hair and makeup to look like Eva Peron. Don't you guys think so? Seems a lot of that going on. There's also a lot of talk about, well, Bernie can be bought. They bought him off last time. I don't think Bernie Sanders can be bought off this time. Because, some of this on my podcast last night, if you listen to Bernie Sanders right now, if you listen to Bernie Sanders and you really listen to Bernie Sanders, he thinks he can win it. I've seen this before. John Kerry in 2004, the polls are always fixed against Republicans. And in the 2004 presidential election, on Election Day, all the polls predicted John Kerry would beat George W. Bush in his re-election, which, of course, luckily for us, didn't happen. But John Kerry took his senior staff of his campaign out for a lobster lunch on Election Day and told them what their jobs were going to be in the John Kerry White House. Can you imagine? That's how full of himself he was, and that's how confident he was that he was going to win the presidency in 2004. That was Election Day. And when I saw Bernie after the Nevada caucus results were released, and he was out there talking, Bernie seems a little more confident than he usually does, doesn't he? Bernie Sanders is talking about this as if he's won it. He feels like he is going to win it. He's surrounded by people that love him and stand up and hang on his every word, taking selfies with him. He thinks everyone hates Trump. And I don't think Bernie can be bought like he's been bought in the past. He's got millions now, so he's wealthy now, which he wasn't. And when he's got that feeling, like Kerry had in 2004, that he can actually win this thing, that he could actually this time next year be in the White House, it's going to be he's not going to be so willing to sell out like he did before. And I don't think Bernie can be bought right now. He's too, because he's closer than he ever imagined he would be to the presidency. He never really thought he had a shot. Now he does, a real one. And when someone sees the presidency right just a little short reach away from them, like Bernie Sanders sees right now, you can't go to him and offer him a little bit of money and say, here you go. I tell you a little story I saw today, that U.S. ambassador to Ukraine that Trump fired, I forgot her name, something-ovich, you know what I'm talking about? I read this morning that she signed a 7-figure book deal. Really? Who the hell is going to buy that lady's book? How could she make enough book sales for them even to break even on that? When I hear 7-figure book deal from her, this isn't Michelle Obama or Barack Obama. This is, I don't even know her name. Jovanovich, I'm not even sure what her name is. I have to Google it. That sounds more like a payoff than a book deal, doesn't it? There's no way enough people are interested in reading her book that would be worthy of a 7-figure. And by the way, to you liberals out there, that means it's at least $1 million. 6 figures would be less than $1 million, right? 100,000 to 999,999. This is a 7-figure deal, which means at least $1 million. There's no something stinks about that book deal. Don't you guys agree? I agree. I think so. I agree with myself. It stinks. All right, let me take our last break of the first hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Someone just asked, who is Eva Perón? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Who is Eva Perón? They got to be pulling my leg. They can't be serious. All right, our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465-2631. We'll take a break and be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
We talk about charisma. Hormone replacement pellet therapy brings back a lot of things in people, and one of the things I think it brings back is charisma, because I've met many listeners that are patients of Dr. Matez that I've met before they were patients of Dr. Matez, and I notice a big difference. And one thing I notice is a lot of confidence in guys after they start hormone replacement pellet therapy.
I agree with you 100%, Brett.
Yeah, yeah.
Get your mojo back. It's really
It
what it is.
changes your life. It changes the way you view the world. You know how I put it once? This was years and years ago. Looking at the world after having the hormone therapy, and you look at the world, and the world is like a technicolor, and when you give up the hormone therapy, it's like watching the world in black and white. It's just an amazing difference.
That's a fantastic analogy.
Isn't it?
It is.
And it's true. That's a big difference.
It is. As we get older, we both physically and mentally break down, and we tend to get into a very black and white type of existence.
Yeah, I
a lot of
guess.
people. Everybody's different. But when you get your hormone levels back and you get that vigor back, you
Oh, it's
feel
the best.
good. suddenly things are very bright and colorful.
And I experience this myself, and I see it on listeners, is I'll see a guy, and he's like, and then I'll see him after he has become a patient of yours.
Make sure you
and
subscribe.
with
If you're not
replacement
subscribed,
therapy,
subscribe.
He seems like he's standing up strong,
10 feet
confident,
tall.
10 feet tall. What is it about hormone replacement pellet therapy that does that to guys?
I believe it's because you're putting God's nectar back into the body, basically. God gave us testosterone in particular to give us energy and strength and endurance and muscle mass. It's what makes not just men, it's what makes people. And a lack of it takes all of those things away from you.
We'll meet with Steve Kane, listeners.
Thank you, Jack.
In charge.
Always.
What is the number they can call to make that appointment?
561-953-5490. 561-953-5490.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Yes. Welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Here in sunny South Florida, the weather, man, was it not hot yesterday? Oh, man, I went outside yesterday to clean and organize my garage, which I do every month or two, and then it's like a disaster again a few weeks later. But it was hot out yesterday where I had to go back inside the air-conditioned house and take a break. Yeah, I know. It's so hot in Florida. And, as Floridians, air conditioning is life. Air conditioning is life. And our electric bills are, for most people, very, very high because of our use of air conditioning. And you know what? It doesn't have to be, because most homeowners are using a lot more electricity for their air conditioning than they have to. That's why you want to call Scott at Cut My Kilowatts. Scott can do so many amazing things to lower your AC usage, keep your house as cool as you want it, but lower the amount of time that your AC is running, which saves you big time on your electric bill. And come on, guys, how much is your electric bill every month? $250, $350, $300, $275, $260? It's out of control, isn't it? Well, it doesn't have to be that high. He can cut your kilowatts. That's the name of his company, Scott, at Cut My Kilowatts. Cut My Kilowatts. He can cut the amount of electricity you use, but your home will still be as cool as you would like it. Because there's so many things that he finds to save you on your bill by doing, for example, this. The heat inside your attic, which is where your air conditioning duct is, gets over 130 degrees. And what happens when it gets so hot up there is that hot 130 degree plus temperature in your attic surrounds your air conditioning duct, which heats it up and heats the air inside of it, which is where that cool air is going, heats up that cool air from the air conditioning. So your air conditioning has to work harder to keep the cool air inside those ducts at the temperature you've set the thermostat to. Well, Scott over at Cut My Kilowatts, he can do several things. Call him and he'll explain, and they're not expensive at all, to reduce massively the temperature inside your attic, which will immediately save you money on your electric bill because your air conditioning won't have to work so hard. Give Scott a call. This number is Scott's cell phone number, so you can also text message him at this number, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. Let Scott come out, do a free inspection of your home, and let him tell you how he can cut your electric bill big time. 954-939-1500. And again, you can call or text, since that's his cell phone. The number listed at stevekaneshow.com. 954-939-1500. Stop wasting money on your electric bill, all right? Call Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. All right, so Bernie... now that he's the front runner, the media are out to destroy him. They're trying to expose him as a commie. So Anderson Cooper interviewed him on 60 Minutes, and Bernie is praising Fidel Castro.
Back in the 1980s, Sanders had some positive things to say about the former Soviet Union and the Sandinistas in Nicaragua.
And everybody was totally convinced.
Here he is explaining why the Cuban people didn't rise up and help the U.S. overthrow Cuban leader Fidel Castro.
He educated the kids, gave them health care, totally transformed the society.
We're very opposed to the authoritarian nature of Cuba. But it's unfair to simply say everything is bad. When Fidel Castro came into office, you know what he did? He had a massive literacy program. Is that a bad thing? even though Fidel Castro did it.
There's a lot of dissidents imprisoned in
That's right.
Okay, yeah, so everyone was literate so they could read the Communist Manifesto and the Little Red Book. You know, yeah, everybody could read, but they only had 2 books to read, and books that were approved by the state. You know, this is so interesting because what Anderson Cooper was doing on 60 Minutes is they're trying to derail Bernie. Okay, now we're going to expose Bernie. He's a communist. So let's get Anderson Cooper talking and get him defending Fidel Castro. This will do him in. No, it won't. In fact, it'll probably make him more popular among Democrat voters because they have spent so much time programming, brainwashing the youth into being communists. They're like, wow, that's great. Yeah. And here's another thing that he's running into now, frontrunners. This is such a cool thing when you're a frontrunner. After you win the first couple of primaries or caucuses, whichever one it is, and you have frontrunner status, you have what they call momentum. You know, it's easier for you to win the next state and the state after that because you have momentum. And the reason you have momentum is because people don't want to waste their time or their vote on a loser. And you go through how Bernie didn't just win in Nevada, he won big time. He won the popular vote in all 3 of these votes. And a lot of these other people that are down the list, their base of support's not. Why are you going to go out and waste a vote on Biden or Warren or Pete? Why would you do that? Why would you, you're working or you got something else to do or you're binging something on Netflix, and then boom, it's primary day, and are you going to go out and vote for someone? Take time out of your day, go there, wait in line and vote for someone who's not going to win? No. People like to vote for winners in primaries. Okay? I think every primary should be on the same day. That would do away with a lot of this. But Bernie not only has the largest support of any other candidate running in the Democrat Party, he now has momentum. Right? A lot of people are going to vote for Bernie who wouldn't last week. But he's the winner. They hate Trump. They want to defeat Trump. He's far in the lead. Let me go. Rahm Emanuel. This is Rahm Emanuel. He made a very good point. Rahm Emanuel may be a jerk, but he's a smart guy.
Is Bernie Sanders unstoppable?
He's the front runner. He is unstoppable. I don't know, but I would say this: the moderates have to coalesce around one person. If you have a divided field, we've seen this play out in the Republican primary in 2016. If there is not kind of a singular mano a mano, then he's going to get the delegate.
No indication that anybody's going to drop.
No, I mean, this is what's clear right now.
Okay, so what Rahm Emanuel is saying is the only way, he says Bernie Sanders is stoppable if the other candidates unite and they all drop out except one, and all of the other candidates that take the chosen one, endorse that one, and that person runs against Bernie, then he's beatable. They're not going to do that. You think Biden is going to drop out and say, okay, I don't want Bernie to get the nomination. I'm going to back Warren or Pete? Do you think Warren's going to drop out and say, okay, we're all going to surround Biden or Pete? No. Anyone who's running for president has a big ego, and they don't want to give it up that easy, and they don't want to give their support to anyone at this point. So what Rahm Emanuel is saying may be true. They have a chance maybe to do a little beating here and there if they could find one alternative to Bernie. All the candidates drop out and endorse that one, but they're not going to do it. So they're done. Now, Bernie is not going to win every primary. Even though he's won the first 3 races, he's not going to win every one, probably, right? Has anybody ever won every primary? Not even Trump did that. So once Bernie has his first loss, watch the media blow that way the hell out of proportion. But the Democrats, Rahm Emanuel gave some great advice there, but none of these candidates are going to do it. How can they do it? There's no way. They're so full of themselves. You have to be arrogant to run for president. I mean, if you think you've got the solutions to the problems of America and the world, and everyone should listen to you and do what you think should be done on everything, you got to have an ego, right? Somebody without an ego wouldn't think that they could accomplish all these things. So no, it's not going to. It's too early. It's no way it's going to happen. This is wonderful. This is really wonderful, and this helps us in 2024 because the Democrat Party is going to be so fractured and damaged after this election. It's going to take them years and years, if not a couple of decades, to regroup. And in 2024, when we have the Trump-endorsed successor to President Trump running as our nominee, it's going to be even easier for us to win then because the Democrat Party is going to be a shell of its former self. It really is. I mean, they're going to, They might, if Bernie gets the nomination, they very well may change their name to the Democrat Socialist Party. That could happen. That certainly could happen. All right, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. That's right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great work and the incredible prices at Dr. Gupta's Brighton Dental. Richie the bus driver called Steve Kane on the air and told him about his experience at Brighton Dental.
Good morning. I have to talk about Brighton Dental because your sponsor is a miracle worker. I broke my tooth. I fractured it and it went backwards in my mouth.
Oh my
front top tooth. I put it back into the socket. It felt like it was falling out. I had pain. I couldn't even eat spaghetti. And I was going to a wedding in New York 2 days later. And I said, what am I going to do? The dentist here wanted to charge me $120 just to look at it and to tell me he couldn't do anything. I went to Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. I traveled 139 miles. I would do it again in a heartbeat, each way. Okay, the man sat and worked on my tooth for 2 hours, put a pen in it, put it back in place. I could eat anything I want. He said it was temporary. He did such a great job. It feels like permanent. I have no pain. I can eat anything I want now. And the fact of the matter, this is what really was unbelievable. I was
Kathy, I sent you a
the
text.
bus to go to the reception, okay? In New York City. He knew I was in New York. The phone rings. Who do you think's on the line?
Dr. Gupta.
Right. He wants to see if everything is going okay and if I'm in any pain. The guy is unbelievably wonderful. I mean, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to eat. I wouldn't have been able to go. I would have looked like a pumpkin.
Everybody needs a great dentist, and of course, for you Steve Kane listeners, you have one, Dr. Gupta, and he's been over there at Brighton Dental. He takes really good care of you. He's very conscientious. Dentistry is an art when you stop and you think about it. And Dr. Gupta certainly is an artist, and we're so pleased to have him with us.
Yeah, I just wanted them to know if you need a dentist, and the guy is so good at what he does, he's so gentle, and I mean, I don't like dentists. This guy.
Steve Kane Show. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, thanks. Okay, bye.
Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. Call 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Feeling old, tired, run down, struggling with your sex life or weight control? Dr. Matez can fix it. Call the Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953-5490 or visit their website at brc4am.com.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning seminar. Learn how to prevent running out of money before you run out of life, being forced to spend down your assets, how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and more. This free Medicaid planning seminar is Wednesday, February 26th at 10 a.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 1-855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. This Wednesday is the big day. Attorney Barry Siegel's 2 workshops. The 10 a.m. workshop on Medicaid planning, which is absolutely fascinating. Everyone should attend that. Regardless of your age, you should attend both of these workshops. Medicaid planning is a way for you to get at-home care, nursing home care if you need it. And I know a lot of people buy long-term care insurance, but you know what? Most people don't, and then they need it, and it's too late to buy it, or they wait too long to look into it. And they may not be able to get it for whatever reason. Attorney Barry Siegel with Medicaid planning can get you that home health care or that nursing home care that you need. And that's what that first workshop at 10 is all about. Steve Kane will be there to meet and greet all of you who attend. The 2 o'clock workshop, again, both of these are this Wednesday. The 2 o'clock is the Revocable Living Trust workshop. I'm going to be at that one. And both workshops are at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca, which is immediately west of I-95 on the north side of Glades Road, the Courtyard by Marriott. And when you walk in, Barry will have a big sign telling you exactly where to go. Both workshops are free. A lot of times people come to both, and I've noticed at these workshops, a lot of times people bring their friends as well because they want them to get all of this great information. It's completely free. Call Barry's office just to let them know you're coming, okay? 1-855-FLA-3782. 1-855-FLA-3782. That is this Wednesday. 10 o'clock Medicaid planning, 2 o'clock Revocable Living Trust. 855-FLA-3782. Just to let them know you're coming. It's completely free. All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 has begun. Bernie Sanders is winning. President Trump, of course, now under President Trump, he has appointed, against the will of the left, they're very upset about this, Richard Grenell is now the highest-ranking openly gay official in the history of the United States government. That's right, openly gay. Doesn't matter if they're in the closet. That doesn't count. They got to be openly gay. It's absolutely amazing. He's the acting director of national intelligence, and he's over there cleaning house. It's absolutely amazing. Getting no credit from this. Now, Mayor Pete, I'm going to play this clip of Mayor Pete. Mayor Pete had a town hall the other day, and they had questions in a jar that they picked at random. And just randomly, they took a question from a 9-year-old boy who was there, who wanted to talk to Mayor Pete about how to come out of the closet at 9 years old. And, of course, they brought him up on stage, which, of course, brought him out of the closet. And I am not anti-gay rights, anti-gay. I know a lot of conservatives are. I'm not. But this is a pretty controversial thing. So let me play this for you, and then we'll talk about it. Mayor Pete, 9-year-old boy, comes on stage to ask his advice on how to come out.
Zachary, age 9. And this is a really touching question. He says, "Thank you for being so brave. Would you help me tell the world I'm gay too? I want to be brave like you."
Well, I don't think you need a lot of advice from me on bravery. You seem pretty strong. To see you, it took me a long time to figure out how to tell even my best friend that I was gay, let alone to go out there and tell the world. And to see you willing to come to terms with who you are in a room full of 1,000 people, thousands of people you never met, that's really something.
9 years old. He's just standing there looking at Mayor Pete.
So let me tell you a couple things that might be useful. The first thing is that it won't always be easy, but that's okay, because you know who you are. And that's really important, because when you know who you are, you have a center of gravity that can hold you together when all kinds of chaos is happening around you. That's the first thing I want you to know. The second thing I want you to know is that you'll never know who's taking their lead from you, who's watching you, and deciding that they can be a little braver because you have been brave. When I was trying to figure out who I was afraid that who I was might mean that I could never make a difference. And what wound up happening instead is that it's a huge part of the difference I get to make. I never could have seen that coming. And you'll never know whose life you might be affecting right now, just by standing here. Right now. There's a lot of power in there.
Okay. Random question. 9-year-old boy wants his help on coming out of the closet, and they brought the boy on stage who didn't say a word. He just stood there and looked at Mayor Pete and listened to the wisdom from Mayor Pete. This is one of the most desperate acts I have seen a presidential candidate ever pull. I don't know if we thought about it. Maybe we could think of some that were more desperate. This was a real major act of desperation. Mayor Pete is losing right and left in these. I know they've monkeyed around with things to make it look as if he won Iowa, for example, but Bernie won the popular vote in all 3 races. I know he's contesting Nevada, but he is in a major, major act of desperation move here with this 9-year-old kid who wants his help coming out of the closet. It tells me that he's trying to do with his candidacy what Obama did with his back in 2008. Obama came out of nowhere, and Joy Behar on The View, she mispronounced his name, called him Barack Osama once. A lot of people were, because we didn't know Barack Obama. We all know it now, but we didn't know it then. He was new, he was out of nowhere, and he did well in Iowa, and he got a lot of momentum like Bernie's getting now. And because he was the first black candidate of a major party, a lot of people wanted to be a part of such a historic thing, having the first black nominee of a major party and be a part of helping the first black person become president of the United States. And, historically and for the country, it's a good thing that somebody who is African-American could rise to that level. I don't like Obama. I disagree with them on everything. But it's amazing that happened, and a lot of people wanted to be a part of that amazing event. First black president. And Mayor Pete, who is losing, and has really nothing going on for him to separate him from any of the other candidates as a standout other than that he's gay, is trying to get that kind of thing going with him. Vote for me, I'm first openly gay. Well, here's the problem that he's running into, other than he's vacuous and has nothing to really run on. I thought Klobuchar did a pretty good job on him at the debate last week, where he's, got a bunch of ideas. He's never done anything. Being gay in 2020 is no big deal. It's no big deal. It seems to me that what's more controversial and surprising is when somebody announces they're straight involved in a heterosexual relationship. Being gay is no big deal, and it's not impressive to anyone. But now he's playing this gay card. What got him a little momentum many months ago is there was a month, I can't remember which month it was. I can tell you if I look it up. Well, let me look it up, because I can tell what month he did the best in. Let me look this up. Let's see. Let me see. Because it was involving something. Let's see here. Then I'll tell you when he had a little momentum. June, July. Mayor Pete became kind of a front runner for a while, right? And the reason he did is because he had this huge fundraising month in June. So in July, everyone was like, oh man, he's the guy. He had this huge fundraising month in June. Well, June is Gay Pride Month. And during Gay Pride Month, at communities from coast to coast, there are pride festivals and everything going on. And there was a lot of fundraising done during Pride Month at pride events, gay pride events. So, and I didn't hear anybody in the media pick up on this. And he gained momentum briefly because he had this huge fundraising month, but it was only because it was during the Gay Pride Month that he had this huge fundraising thing. So now that he sees things fading away, Mayor Pete is playing the gay card. Now, with that being said, what are your thoughts on Pete bringing up a 9-year-old boy to come out of the closet at age 9? You know, I remember being 9. I don't have a lot of memories of knowing I was 9 because, you know, when you get in that age between 7 and 10 and 11, I remember a lot of things during that era, but they all kind of blend together. And I don't have a memory of me saying I'm 9, except I remember my mother was filling out the census, the 1980 census, and on the census form, I remember her writing in my name, age 9. I was 9. But other than that, I don't really have a specific memory. Okay, I was 9 years old and this happened. You know, and I got a pretty good memory in that era. You know, I can remember when I was 6 and 3 and 5 and things like this. But I don't ever, other than that census, I can't remember. You know, 9. That's a young age, and the lack of memories that I mean, think about it. How many of you have a lot of memories when you know 9 years old this happened, 9 years old that happened? There's certain things you remember even when you're younger because there's, you know, okay, kindergarten, I'm 5, I'm 6. You know what I'm saying? 9 is 9 years old too young to come out of the closet as gay? I think it is. You know, most people, most boys at 9 don't even know that they like girls yet, that are heterosexual. So how can I think 9 is way too young. I personally, to have an understanding of what gay and straight is. I don't even, especially in this society where everything's very confused and everything so far as gender and sexuality. I was 9 and I'm also a parent. I don't believe a 9-year-old has the ability to understand what gay is and what straight is. And to bring a 9-year-old kid in this staged fake movement, acting as if this is some random question picked out of the fishbowl of questions up there, is, I think it's desperate of Pete, and I think it's also irresponsible. You know, this kid, he's up there, a little boy, he's up there on the stage with Pete during all of that, and that moment is going to follow him for the rest of his life. You know, I don't think a 9-year-old knows that if they're gay or straight. I really don't. You know, I think there are options offered to young people that they didn't have when I was a kid, that some kid may think he's gay, but that doesn't mean he is. And this kid may not be gay, but he's labeled that. And I'll tell you, all his little friends know who he is. I don't know his name, and if I did, I wouldn't share it with you. But all his little friends know who he is. And when this kid's in high school, or when he's in his 20s or 30s and he's getting married, this is going to come up. And they're going to say, well, wait a minute, you were 9 on stage with Mayor Pete Buttigieg and you were gay. What happened? Why were you gay at 9 and you're not gay today at 29? Do you understand what I mean? It's too young. Even if it's true that he's gay, it's too young for a child to make a decision that is going to follow them forever through the rest of their life. And that means getting on a national stage with a presidential candidate like that. It's wrong. It's irresponsible. And Mayor Pete and his husband don't have kids, do they? I don't think they do. If Mayor Pete had kids, I would like to think he wouldn't have done that. But you never know with these Democrats when they get desperate to win. Because unless you're a parent, I don't think you really have an understanding of what it's like for someone to be 9. You can't go by your experience of having been 9. You have to be able to see age 9 from the viewpoint of an adult that's raising a kid. And if Mayor Pete had children, I think he would have I'm not saying he wouldn't have brought the kid up still because he's really desperate right now, but that was wrong. It was irresponsible. And he really should be called out on it. That was not a random event. All right. Let's take our break. It's 17 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. That's right. We'll take our break. When we get back, there's much more to talk about. 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this.
I want to proudly welcome a new sponsor to the Steve Kane Show, and it's Ace Hardware. Not just any Ace Hardware, but two special Ace Hardware
Steve Kane
stores
Show.
in our area. The first is Ace Hardware, located at 365 South Federal Highway in Deerfield Beach, just
Steve
a quarter
Kane
mile
Show.
south of Hillsborough Boulevard on the west side of Federal Highway.
Steve
And
Kane
Beach
Show.
Ace Hardware at 232 Commercial Boulevard, Lauderdale by the Sea, half a
Steve
block
Kane
west
Show.
of A1A. If you own a house or condo, you would do yourself a favor to visit one or both of these special stores. There is such a different shopping in these stores
Steve Kane
compared to
Show.
the depot type stores. Service and product selection is what it's all about, and they have a great selection in all their departments that will save you from running around from store to store. And you can get help from their employees who have the knowledge to always put you on the right track to get any project done, large or small. They have happy customers because of the way they treat their customers, and you will become a happy customer too. The list of what they sell is almost endless, but includes plumbing, electrical, sprinkler parts, fasteners of every kind, garden tools, including the largest selection of steel garden equipment. Plus, they are an authorized steel repair center. Let's not forget Benjamin Moore custom blended paints, major brand power tools, including Craftsman, Weber barbecue grills, plus other top-notch brands that are delivered to your home with free assembly. They have the largest selection of key blanks, many down to the color you choose. Even the key fob remote for your doors are sold at these stores, priced lower than the car dealer. Screens are custom made. Glass is cut to size. I could go on and on, but you get the idea. They will make your life easier and save you time and money by recommending the right products for your job. Again, the two Ace Hardware locations are Ace Hardware at 365 South Federal Highway, Deerfield Beach, just a quarter mile south of Hillsborough Boulevard on the west side of Federal Highway, and Beach Ace Hardware at 232 Commercial Boulevard, Lauderdale by the Sea, half a block west of A1A. Or call with any questions, 954-531-6265, 954-531-6265, and make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top, and
Kathy,
a
I
crown
see
on the
another
bottom.
text.
If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Feeling old, tired, broken down?
Steve Kane Show.
Dr. Matez can fix it. In 2005,
Steve Kane Show.
Dr. Matez introduced South Florida.
Okay,
to
got it.
make
Okay,
testing
thanks.
hormone
Appreciate it.
pellets. This safe and effective therapy.
I was making some adjustments. I needed Kathy's help there. Okay, coming back.
Energy, sex drive, and weight control are just a phone call away. If you want to look good again, feel good again, and function good again, call Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953-5490 or online at brc4am.com.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. So your thoughts, if you're calling during the break, call back. I was making some adjustments on something. But your thoughts on Mayor Pete bringing a 9-year-old boy, and by the way, the kid didn't say it. It was the adult. So if the kid at age 9 is not comfortable enough saying that he's gay and wants to come out of the closet, should you even have him up there? It's very strange.
Zachary, age 9. And this is a really touching question. He says, "Thank you for being so brave. Would you help me tell the world I'm gay too? I want to be brave like you."
Okay. If he's not able to say it, okay, is it responsible to bring the 9-year-old kid up on the stage and say it for him on television? I think that was in Colorado. So they're moving towards Colorado now. So Mayor Pete's trying to get some votes in Colorado, so he does this. And what about the adult that brought that kid there? I wonder if it was a parent or both parents. And, you know, the reason I ask is I would like some background on the parents. Who are this kid's parents? Were both of them there? Did both of them approve of this? Right? What and also, who are the parents in relation to the Pete Buttigieg campaign? You know, you go to an event. Just think about it. You randomly go to an event like this kid supposedly did with, I'm assuming, a parent or parents. Okay? And you end up on, what are the chances of you ending up on stage, on television with the candidate? I've been to a lot of political events. I know some of you have too. How easy is it to get on stage with a candidate? You know, and this, supposedly, people could submit questions, right, to be asked of Mayor Pete. So they expect us to think this was randomly grabbed out of a bowl of questions, and then the boy just happened to be there to be put on stage. This whole moment stinks. There's something about this moment that stinks. Obviously, it's a setup, but knowing who the parents are and their connection to the Pete Buttigieg campaign, I think would be significant. And it's something I think we should know. He is running for president, after all. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi there. This is Teddy in Hollywood.
Hey, Teddy. Steve Kane Show.
Bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, first communion. None of that stuff takes place at the age of 9. Maybe your rabbi, excuse me, maybe your rabbi friend would have...
Rabbi David? Okay, so this is interesting. You're saying that someone cannot really be gay or straight before puberty? Is that what you're saying?
I think that's a good measuring stick.
Yeah.
There are some communities in this country where that guy, the good mayor, could get himself tarred and feathered for pulling a stunt like that.
Well, what do you think okay, when you say a stunt, what are you saying is the stunt that was pulled here?
Well, it's the old thing about pointing the kid in the wrong direction sexually.
Well, the question is, this is an event with Mayor Pete. How did this kid end up on stage? I mean, just if some random person went in and said, my son's 9, he's gay, he wants to come out of the closet, he wants Mayor Pete's help, they don't just say, okay, because it's an unpredictable situation. Maybe they're setting him up. Maybe they're MAGA people that are setting him up, right? You know what I mean? Maybe they're from the Family Research Council setting him up. I don't think that whoever the parent or parents of this kid are unconnected from the Buttigieg campaign. There's some connection to the Buttigieg campaign. It's too risky of a situation to put a kid up there.
I definitely agree. But I think it is, whether it is prosecutable as a crime.
I don't know about a crime. It may be a moral one. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning. Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something. If this doesn't bury this guy, then we need to take up soap and water and wash this country from one end to the other. This has gotten to be ridiculous. If there was a policeman there, he should have arrested the whole group.
Well, wait a minute. I don't know if there's a crime. There's not a real there's not a criminal offense taking place here. But a 9-year-old, is it responsible to put a 9-year-old on television, on a stage with a presidential candidate, and the kid didn't even say it himself. They read what they said was a statement from him that he wrote about wanting to come out of the closet. I don't know if that's a crime.
Absolutely, it's a crime, number one and number two.
Well, wait a minute. What's the crime? What crime has been committed? What crime has been committed?
you don't even talk about 9-year-olds having to do with sex, let alone get a kid up there on stage in front of thousands of people.
Well, what they would argue is this isn't about sex, it's about preference and sexuality. Some 9-year-olds like girls, some like guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm 78 years old. And when I was 9 or around that age, 10, 12, we didn't, it wasn't even such thoughts. If you didn't like girls, you'd end up in a garbage can upside down.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, what do you? Obviously, this was a setup moment. What are the odds that the adult who brought the kid there, a parent or parents, and I would tend to think it would be a parent, not parents. I cannot imagine two parents agreeing to do this to their 9-year-old kid. What are the chances are that these are people connected to the Buttigieg campaign that were just trying to create a viral moment of Pete Buttigieg becoming a role model?
It's a possibility, but it's also a possibility that it was somebody connected who's trying to undermine the guy and get rid of him. I mean,
yeah,
we will not ever, in this country, as long as I'm alive, elect a gay person to be president of the United States.
I would, all right, thanks for the call. I would tend to agree with that, especially a man. I don't think the country is quite there yet, but, you know, one day. You know, here you got Trump, who has the highest ranking U.S. federal government official who is openly gay in history. And you notice how conservatives are celebrating this. Have you heard any conservatives come out and take issue with it? The Republican Party's changed, hasn't it? But when you're talking about a 9-year-old, like in this instance, that's a whole nother ballgame. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. It's 7:30 in the morning. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance?
Be right back, guys. Subscribe if you're not subscribed.
At some point in your life, and foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences, up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics.
I forgot my keys.
You're probably not aware that as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's TheSole authority.com, Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Wednesday, February 26th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve King Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. So, you know, this moment with the 9-year-old kid coming out of the closet with Pete, which he didn't. I'll play it again in a second. I'll play the whole thing so you can hear Pete's parenting advice. He's a role model now to 9-year-old. Campaigns have in the Democrat Party have a history of setting up town hall questions. And in particular, I remember Al Gore back in 2000 was the most embarrassing moment. A guy got up in the 2000 town hall meeting with Al Gore and was talking about the difficulty he had in paying for his prescription medications. And even remember this? And he paid for his prescription medications by collecting cans on the side of the highway, which really isn't a thing anymore because the anti-littering messages of the 70s and 80s have been very effective. It used to be there'd be aluminum cans all over the roads everywhere. Those days are kind of over. But he told this story, and then it turned out it was completely a lie. Remember this? And he drove there in a Winnebago that cost over $100,000, and he was a pretty well-to-do guy. It was a total lie. And there have been other instances when this has happened. That's a reality. It's happened more than once. And there's something about this incident that really needs to be looked at. And what happens with people, you know, Mayor Pete is getting desperate right now because he's losing. He's unemployed. He's no longer the mayor of South Bend. He's unemployed. He has everything riding on this. He's been running for president for has it been a year yet? Seems like it's been a year. And he's getting to the point where it's about to be over for him because he's losing to Bernie Sanders. And even though they may have stolen the delegates from Iowa and did some business up in New Hampshire, he knows the real numbers. He knows he's losing. So what's happening now is he is in a anxiety state. And not just Mayor Pete, but his campaign, like all Democrats, because of the rise of Bernie Sanders, are in a panic attack, a state of anxiety. And when you make decisions in a state of anxiety, those decisions will almost always be wrong. And I think Mayor Pete made a very wrong decision here. And I don't want this kid to be harassed, but I think there should be some investigating into finding out who his parents are, their connection to Mayor Pete, and how he ended up on stage. So let me play the whole thing, including Pete's advice. This was in Colorado over the weekend. They brought up a 9-year-old kid on stage with Mayor Pete.
Zachary, age 9. And this is a really touching question. He says, "Thank you for being so brave."
Okay, now the first question here is, why is they have Zachary on the stage? It's not like they're reading questions and he's in the audience. He's on stage. Why isn't Zachary saying anything? If he's so confident at the age of 9 years old that he's gay and he thought so much of it and looked so up to Mayor Pete that he wrote I would like to see the handwritten question. When I was what grade are you in at 9? Second grade? Third grade? I would like to see the handwritten question that this woman is reading and find out if it's in the handwriting of a 9-year-old boy using a fat pencil or a crayon, fourth grade maybe, or is it written by an adult? Wouldn't you like to see the handwriting? I would.
Zachary, age 9. And this is a really touching question. He says, "Thank you for being so brave. Would you help me tell the world I'm gay too? I want to be brave like you."
Well, I don't think...
And I got to tell you, you know, if they don't produce the actual card that the question is written on, so we can look and see if it was written by a 9-year-old or an adult, and they don't tell us who his parents are, that tells you everything you need to know about the press.
And this is a really touching question. He says, "Thank you for being so brave. Would
Steve
you
Kane
help
show.
me tell the world I'm gay too? I want to be brave like
Hold
you."
on.
Well, I don't think you need a lot of advice from me on bravery. You seem pretty strong. To see you, it took me a long time.
Okay, now I just got a text. No. They're saying that you see him come from the audience. I'm not questioning whether or not the kid was in the audience. Okay? I know the kid was in the audience. I've seen the kid in the audience. Somebody sent me a message saying I'm seeing an edited version. Let me read it to you. I'm not going to tell you who sent it. It's a friend of mine, so I'm not. You're listening to an edited version. The full version has him in the audience and he comes on stage. No, I saw him in the audience coming on stage before that. I just got to start the audio where the talking happens. What I'm telling you is I don't believe a 9-year-old knows whether or not they like girls yet, not to mention boys, a 9-year-old boy. 2, I'm not questioning that he was in the audience. I'm questioning who brought him there and what process led to his question being randomly selected and him being brought up on stage. You know, if that question was, what are the odds that that question would be randomly selected? 1, which tells you it wasn't randomly selected. 2, you know, you've heard actors say, don't work with animals and don't work with kids. Why is that? Kids and animals are unpredictable. Unpredictable. You get in a situation with a kid on a stage, 9 years old, it's an unpredictable situation if you do it at random. I'm telling you, the whole thing was set up. And the kid had to be coached. And I want to see the question. I want to see if it was written by a 9-year-old hand or an adult. Yes, he was in the audience. I understand that he was in the... I saw him in the audience coming up on stage. I saw them bringing him on stage. I'll tell you another thing I find odd, too. Did you see a parent on stage? I wouldn't... If I were at an event of any kind, with a lot of people, with my 9-year-old, because I've taken... When my daughter was 9, I took her to a lot of things. Would you let your 9-year-old go on stage in a situation like that on TV without you? You're on the radio. Good morning.
In my life experience growing up, all boys don't like girls, you know, even up to like 9 years old, or, you know, you say something about a girl, and they're like,
oh, you know, this is interesting. This is, oh, that's an interesting, okay. So let me translate for the, you know, that, because I think you make an interesting point. So you're saying that most boys at 9 will claim that girls are yucky and have cooties. So in a day and age when there's all these different sexualities out there and all these genders and everything, you're saying that when someone says to a 9-year-old boy, do you like girls? Ew, yucky, they have cooties. No. You're saying that could be misinterpreted as them being gay and coming out?
absolutely.
I think you might be onto something. Depends on who's raising them. Yeah, I could see that. That's interesting. Yeah.
So, you know, young boys, even myself, you know, it was, I don't know.
What do you know?
Age, I didn't care for girls, but I'm not gay.
Okay, now that's a very interesting point you make that I had not considered. So he might have just said girls are yucky, they have cooties, and that's the same as coming out in this day and age. If you're raised by some snowflakes millennials who would be the right age to be his parents, that's possible. What do you think, though? How do you think this random 9-year-old kid ended up on stage with Mayor Pete?
I think it was a setup with you.
Yeah.
Any parent that would do that to their child.
You know, kids are unpredictable. Remember in 2016, Ted Cruz was campaigning with his daughter, and she was very young and unpredictable. Remember, she was flicking him in the nose and the face one day. You know, children are unpredictable. And that kid, you take a kid by himself at age 9, you put him on stage like that, it's a risky situation unless there's been some. Now, have you seen the video?
No.
Okay. What I'd like to know has anyone seen the parent that approved of this named, and also has anyone seen the note card that the question was written on? Because that would be a big tell right there. Did the little kid write it? But you hit on something. So saying girls are yucky with cooties is coming out today. That you could, I would not shock me.
Thing, a male child ghost.
That's funny, but it's true. I could see that. All right, interesting insights. Thanks for the call. You're on the radio. Good morning. I couldn't understand anything you said. The receiver is too close to your mouth. So start over and talk slower.
At the risk of alienating you, I want to change the topic. I want to talk about Trump's pardon.
Well, I got to tell you, the risk of alienating me, I thought you and I were alienated from one another years ago, Rick the Deficit Hawk.
Further alienation. I want you to explain to me why President Trump pardoned Bernie Kerik.
I have no explanation. No.
Do you know what this man did? Do you?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Well, that's good that you care, but I got, Rick. Hold on, Rick. Rick, you can be a good caller from time to time, and but I'm not into. Got something else going on today. I'm not really interested in talking about Bernie Kerik, and I don't think today people's minds are around Bernie Kerik. I don't think that's something people but they're not. They're not. I mean, when you are talking about things that the public are not interested in, is when you lose the audience. Look at Joe Biden's campaign, or some of these others, Andrew Yang. The reason all these candidates are dropping out is because they're talking about things that the voting public are not interested in. So if we start talking on the radio about things that few people are interested in, like Bernie Kerik, we'll go the way of Andrew Yang. And I don't want to go the way of Andrew Yang.
Why didn't you tell me that when you screened my call?
Because I didn't screen the call. I didn't even know it was you till you were on the air. I don't screen calls. I kind of screen them on the air, so I'm doing an on-air screening.
You hung up on me somehow.
I didn't screen your call. I didn't screen your call. Did I ask you your name? Did I ask you your name?
You don't have caller ID. You don't have caller ID?
I'm not going to tell you what I have and what I don't, Rick. Anyway, I got to run for a break. I thank you for the call, but if I did that, I would be lying. All right. Jeez. Oh, my goodness. Let's take our last break of the second hour. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That caller before, Rick, though, I think hit on something today. He said that a 9-year-old boy, if you ask, do you like girls, most will say, no, girls are yucky. They have cooties. Yuck. And in today's climate, if you're a 9-year-old and you're raised by, some 29-year-old millennial, they may say, oh, he thinks girls have cooties and are yucky. That's the same as coming out gay to them. And I could see that. That caller, he's good. He's got some good insight. I didn't catch his name. The guy before the last call. Last caller was no good. The caller before that. All right, let's take our last break. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. That's a toll-free call from anywhere. 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great work and the incredible prices at Dr. Gupta's Brighton Dental. Richie the bus driver called Steve Kane on the air and told him about his experience at Brighton Dental.
Good morning. I have to talk about Brighton Dental because your sponsor is a miracle worker. I broke my tooth. I fractured it and it went backwards in my mouth.
Oh, my God.
Front top tooth. I put it back into the socket. It felt like it was falling out. I had pain. I couldn't even eat spaghetti. And I was going to a wedding in New York 2 days later, and I said, what am I going to do, you know? The dentist here wanted to charge me $120 just to look at it and to tell me he couldn't do anything. I went to Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. I traveled 139 miles. I would do it again in a heartbeat, each way. Okay, the man sat and worked on my tooth for 2 hours, put a pin in it, put it back in
And this
place.
is a really touching
I
question.
could eat anything I want. He said it was temporary. He did such a great job. It feels like permanent. I have no pain. I can eat anything I want now. And the fact of the matter, this is what really was unbelievable. I was getting on the bus to go to the reception, okay, in New York City. He knew I was in New York. The phone rings. Who do you think's on the line?
Dr. Gupta.
Right. He wants to see if everything is going okay and if I'm in any pain. The guy is unbelievably wonderful. I mean, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to eat. I wouldn't have been able to go. I would have looked like a pumpkin.
Everybody needs a great dentist, and of course, for you Steve Kane listeners, you have one, Dr. Gupta, and he's been over there at Brighton Dental. He takes really good care of you. He's very conscientious. He's, you know, dentistry is an art when you stop and you think about it. And Dr. Gupta certainly is an artist, and we're so pleased to have him with us.
Yeah, I just wanted them to know if you need a dentist, and the guy is so good at what he does, he's so gentle, and I mean, I don't like dentists. This guy is this top shelf, and I'm going down to him to get it permanently put in, but right now, I don't have any pain. I can eat anything I want. Incredible.
Take Richie the bus driver's advice and go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. Call 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Wednesday, February 26th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for...
All right. Yes, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Democrats in a complete meltdown, and a meltdown because Bernie Sanders is now the front runner. Okay, so now it has come out through a leak that the president called out as a leak, blaming Schiff for it, that Putin is now meddling in the election to help Bernie Sanders win. And you could make a case, I think, that Bernie Sanders was compromised by the Soviets a long time ago. If you've seen that drunken video of him at the little Moscow party from the 80s. Remember, Bernie's there with his shirt off, drunk, drinking the vodka with the Russians. Maybe they compromised him back then. I don't know. But now there's talk, they started saying last week that that Putin is interfering in the election. He wants Trump to win. Now some in the press after Nevada are saying that intelligence sources are telling them that Putin wants Bernie to win. And Eric Swalwell was on TV. Swalwell's a real piece of work, isn't he? And he was talking about how it's not Bernie's fault that the Russians want him. Listen to this logic.
Just to, I guess, put a finer point on what's going
Steve
on
Kane,
here with
sure.
Bernie Sanders, you can't hold it against Bernie Sanders that this may be a preference of Russia. But you can hold it and ask questions about Donald Trump if he, again, is working...
Okay, so what Swalwell's saying, well, yeah, Putin wants Trump, he wants Bernie. He wants them both to win, I guess. But you can't blame Bernie for it. You can't blame Bernie for Putin wanting him, but you can blame Trump. Well, make sense of that. That's, so... And if you notice, all of a sudden, Bernie's a Russian asset now. That's the new liberal line. They've been using that line since 2016 on President Trump, that Trump's a Russian asset, who has sanctions on Russia, by the way. That's how much of an asset he is. He's put sanctions on them. And you've got this communist who honeymooned in Moscow. Can't they get a new line of attack, right? Is everyone who the Democrats lose to a Russian operative now? If you are beating the Democrat establishment, whether you're Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders, you're a Russian asset. They need to get a new talking point, slander against Bernie Sanders. Using the same slander on Bernie that they're using on Trump. Just, it sounds a little overkill. Although with Bernie, you could make a good case. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Al from Washington, D.C.
Oh. My weekend was wonderful. Wait, you asked me how my weekend was, and you started talking. Do you really not care how my weekend was? Why'd you ask?
No, I know a little bit about your weekend because you did a little movie review.
Oh, my gosh. So you're stalking me over the weekend? Oh, my gosh. I thought I had a great weekend till I thought I had a great weekend till I found out you were monitoring me. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Please don't watch me on YouTube, Al. Please don't. Don't. But anyway, why'd you call today, Al? You should be very happy. Bernie's winning.
The thing is, you're missing the point as far as Bernie's concerned.
Yeah.
Dwyer was fired because he let his aide go to the Intelligence Committee, reveal that the intel agencies are reporting that they're...
You know, what is it with you and the last caller? What are your thoughts on can a 9-year-old know if they're gay or straight? Did Mayor Pete do something irresponsible by bringing this 9-year-old on stage?
Absolutely. But you know something? I told you before, he's not going to register any more delegates from
Yeah.
50% in Nevada.
Yeah, he's losing.
Delegates.
That's right. That's right. But he's making a move in Colorado. That's why he brought this kid on stage in Colorado.
Unbelievable.
What's unbelievable?
You and I actually agree that it was irresponsible.
Well, then maybe I need to reflect on myself and reconsider my position, because if you are agreeing with me, there must be something wrong with my position.
Well, I mean, just because we agree on certain things like Star Trek and
What makes you think don't try to bond with me by pretending to love Star Trek. I promise you we agree on nothing, including Star Trek.
Oh, you're not a fan of Star Trek anymore, is that it?
I'm not going to talk to you about. Don't try to bond with me. Yes, you are. You're trying to bond with me because we get a lot of complaints about you. And then I read one on the air about a week and a half ago, an email from a listener, and we have limited your participation. Notice you're on the air, but it's not 8 o'clock yet. You can't call. You have to call in before 8, and we're still not going to let you call in all the time. And on Friday you called in the 8 o'clock hour. I didn't put you on. You got a little testy with me off the air. You were upset about it, and I hung up on you. This was all off the air. And now on Monday, you're trying to bond with me by agreeing with me on the Buttigieg incident. And you mentioned Star Trek. You think, oh, you mentioned Star Trek. You and I are I'll find that we're actually have a lot in common, and we should have long conversations together on the air. You're trying to bond with me, and it's not going to work.
I don't care. I mean, your attitude because some idiot lady gives you an opinion that...
Well, wait a minute, idiot. Are you a liberal?
He's an idiot.
Wait. Are you a liberal? Are you a progressive?
Yes.
Okay, you called a woman an idiot. She sent me a very long, detailed email sharing her opinions on you and the feelings that she experiences when she hears your calls on the air. And in this era of the liberal Me Too movement, who are you to question her truth? Her truth is she's turned off and disgusted by you, Al. Who are you to question her truth? Her truth is that you disgust her, and she has an emotional reaction when she hears you on the air. And her reaction is disgust and anger at us for putting you on the air. So I ask you, as a liberal, who are you to question her truth?
Her reality, her little world that she lives in a right-wing world, she wants to insult somebody because they have an opposing viewpoint.
No, she wasn't insulting you because you have an opposing viewpoint. She's a big fan of the Steve Kane radio show, And she thinks that we do a disservice to the audience by having you participate in it. And shame on you, liberal, for questioning her truth. And women should be believed, right? You're questioning her truth. You don't believe her. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
From Boca.
Yes.
I'm just wondering why nobody ever picked up on Pete, Mayor Pete's military career. I don't think this guy ever fired a gun in defense or offense the way he got his direct commission, and yet his resume says he was in Afghanistan on combat conditions. How about that?
Well, I was talking about this a couple weeks ago. I didn't realize that he had gotten a direct commission, and what that means is that Mayor Pete did not have to go through basic training or officer candidate school. He was immediately commissioned, and I was wondering if he was commissioned a full lieutenant in the Navy, or was he an ensign and then got promoted twice? I don't know. But what I was most interested in that I've seen no one report on is how did he get the direct commission? Who pulled the strings to get it?
Get certain qualifications as well.
You got to be politically connected. I mean, I couldn't go get a direct commission, right? I mean, I guess President Trump could give me one, but no. He got a commission because he was being groomed to run, okay, by the Kennedy. I do know this. So who pulled the strings to get him the direct commission? And I'd really like to know that, because that would say a lot about the powers that be behind him.
Okay, but the thing that bothers me is the fact that his resume shows a combat tenure, and that's not true. He was in intelligence.
Well, hold on. He was in the motor pool. He was in the motor pool, is my understanding. But Afghanistan is a lot like Vietnam was. If you're in Vietnam, if you're in Afghanistan, you're in the combat zone, right? So anyone that is in Afghanistan is in the combat zone. Anybody that was in Vietnam, no matter what you did over there, was in the combat zone. So that's a very vague term, but I think it would be more productive to find out who got him the direct commission, who pushed for it, and how it came about, which, it's kind of like when Obama was running for president. Bill Ayers had said he was the ghostwriter for Obama's book, right? And no one was ever interested in looking into that. And the same thing with Mayor Pete. My guess would be his direct commission came from the former ambassador to Japan's connections, Carolyn Kennedy, President Kennedy's daughter. I don't know the timeline between Ted Kennedy and his commission. So I don't know where Ted Kennedy was in government at the time he got. I don't have all the dates. I'd have to look it up. But Carolyn Kennedy took him under her wing long ago when he was in high school, when he won that essay contest about Bernie Sanders. So I would imagine Carolyn Kennedy had a role in it, would be my guess.
It also states that he took a 7-month hiatus while he was still mayor.
I know, I like that, don't you? To go to Afghanistan.
Yeah, right.
Who does that? Who does that? Well, Mayor Pete, I mean, you would... Well, listen, Mayor Pete was taken under the wing of the Kennedys in high school, under Carolyn and Ted Kennedy's wing. And what he did by getting that commission is they were trying to create a resume for him modeled after President Kennedy, right? And he was a lieutenant in the Navy, just like President Kennedy and John Kerry, who's also a Kennedy, John Kerry. So that's the Kennedys are behind Mayor Pete. I'm telling you, I know for a fact. I've been talking about it for a long time, but he was trying to have a military resume like President Kennedy. That's why he did it. I'd like to know also not only who got him the direct commission, who pushed for it, and what connection got him the direct commission as well, and what rank he was commissioned at. Was he commissioned a full lieutenant or an ensign? Did he get 2 promotions? How did that happen? There's a lot about his military service is relevant because he's running on it as a way for him to have credibility so often. All right, appreciate the call. I'm looking at the clock. Holy smokes, it's 2 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. on the radio since 1977. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
85.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
We want to
Be right back, guys.
A new sponsor to the Steve Kane Show, and it's Ace Hardware. Not just any Ace Hardware, but two special Ace Hardware stores in our area. The first is Ace Hardware, located at 365 South Federal Highway in Deerfield Beach, just a quarter mile south of Hillsborough Boulevard on the west side of Federal Highway. And Beach Ace Hardware at 232 Commercial Boulevard, Lauderdale by the Sea, half a block west of A1A. If you own a house or condo, you would do yourself a favor to visit one or both of these special stores. There is such a different shopping in these stores compared to the depot type stores. Service and product selection is what it's all about. And they have a great selection in all their departments that will save you from running around from store to store. And you can get help from their employees who have the knowledge to always put you on the right track to get any project done, large or small. They have happy customers because of the way they treat their customers, and you will become a happy customer too. The list of what they sell is almost endless, but includes plumbing, electrical, sprinkler parts, fasteners of every kind, garden tools, including the largest selection of steel garden equipment. Plus, they are an authorized steel repair center. Let's not forget Benjamin Moore custom blended paints, major brand power tools, including Craftsman, Weber barbecue grills, plus other top-notch brands that are delivered to your home with free assembly. They have the largest selection of key blanks, many down to the color you choose. Even the key fob remote for your doors are sold at these stores, priced lower than the car dealer. Screens are custom made. Glass is cut to size. I could go on, but you get the idea. They will make your life easier and save you time and money by recommending the right products for your job. Again, the two Ace Hardware locations are Ace Hardware at 365 South Federal Highway, Deerfield Beach, just a quarter mile south of Hillsborough Boulevard on the west side of Federal Highway. And
Steve Kane Show.
2 Commercial Boulevard, Lauderdale by the Sea, half a block west of A1A. Or call with any questions, 954-531-6265. 954-531-6265. And make sure to tell them you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Attention homeowners, this is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm here to cut your electric bill and save you a lot of money. Perhaps even eliminate your electric bill altogether. We do this by making your entire home energy efficient, by upgrading some or all of the following: roofs, doors, windows, insulating your attic, AC systems and ducts, hot water heaters, and even adding solar. Energy efficient improvements that actually pay for themselves over a short period of time. Our program is designed to make the savings on your electric bill pay for all or part of your low monthly payments. The PACE program is government sponsored and gives you up to 30 years to pay. Requires no credit check, no money down, no income verification, and no payments for up to 18 months. You only need to be current on your mortgage and taxes for the last 3 years to qualify. Energy savings and hurricane solutions made easy. Call 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500 to start saving money now.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning seminar. Learn how to prevent running out of money before you run out of life, being forced to spend down your assets, how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets.
Hey guys, subscribe if you're not subscribed, all right? If you don't mind.
It's Wednesday, February 26th at 10 a.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca.
What everyone watching? What kind of device are you watching on? TV, iPhone, Android, iPad? What are you watching on?
Listen to The Steve Kane Show, live in Morning Drive on 1470 AM and 95.3 FM.
Yes, and elsewhere too. All right, I'm Brian Craig. Third and final hour has begun. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Boy, we've touched on a lot of issues today. Lots to talk about, lots going on. Oh, man. Oh, man. Crazy. It's crazy town in the Democrat Party, isn't it? They got this great front runner, this Democratic socialist, Bernie Sanders. This is what winning is all about. President being greeted in India with love, the largest Trump rally ever in India. How many people were at that rally? Crazy. I've only got one problem with that rally that President Trump had in India. I got one big problem with it, Mr. President. You're making our huge sold-out rallies over here in America look so small. Right? Someone just said 4 million? My goodness. We need some bigger venues in America. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, let's go to the phones. Richie the bus driver. Good morning.
Good morning. The stadium had over 100,000 seats alone, and it wasn't even ready. They opened it up especially for our beloved president. I must say this. Back in and this is not an Al call, this is who Al supports. Back in, I believe, 67 or 68, there was a governor running in the Democratic Party for president by the name of George Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
The Democratic Party was in a fit because they had a racist running for president of the United States, an openly racist, and they...
Well, a segregationist. He was an open segregationist.
Racist. So they shot him, and he didn't run, okay? Now, move the clock forward. Look what they got running for president of the United States now, a communist. And this is not the fault of him. He's been groomed through our school. See, you say Buttigieg has been groomed through the Kennedys, and this red has been groomed through our system of education for the last 20, 30 years. And the people that are voting for him, you could blame us for not paying attention to who's teaching our kids. Because when they teach our kids that communism and socialism are better than capitalism, I mean, at this point, knowing the world history of communism and socialism, I mean, this is
Well, what's happened, Richie, with the Democrats is the party the party establishment have lost control, and they've been catering to socialists for decades. They never intended the socialists to get power within the party. They were just telling them what they wanted to hear for votes. They didn't think they'd get elected to the House like AOC, or they thought Bernie would be some fringe guy in the Senate forever. They never thought he had a chance to get the nomination. And the problem they're running into now is they've lost total control. He's the front runner. He's got momentum. I don't believe he can be bought this time because he actually feels that he could win it. If you listen to him, there's a new tone of confidence among Bernie Sanders now. He can't be bought now. There's more money. This is the thing, okay? Once you are the nominee of a major party, even if you lose, that is a very big deal. And there is more money to be made as being the nominee of the party, even if he loses, than they could buy him off with. So and not just money, prestige. And he feels he's got a chance to get it now, and he does. So he's not going to be bought off for a summer camp in Vermont.
Buttigieg, okay, you brought him up with this kid. I got to tell you something. In the military, the guy called up about the military experience in Afghanistan. Well, I was a cook in Vietnam, so I really didn't shoot anybody, but we had incoming rockets, and we were in a very bad spot. So, I mean, when you're in a combat zone, when the president flies in, it's in the middle of the night, and nobody knows he's going to be there because they don't want any problems.
No, he was in a combat zone. Yeah, he was in a combat zone. There's no, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. He eliminates all this combat experience, and I'm going to go the Rush Limbaugh way, and I could care less what people think. When his husband, he gets up at the end of every speech he has in front of everybody and starts to kiss him, and it isn't cheek. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Elimination of all this military when he does that. America, as far as I think, are not ready to accept that. I can't see that. I could care less what you do in your bedroom, but you bring it right up on a stage running as president of the States. That's disgusting.
Well, yeah. You know, what?
I could see you running for president kissing Kathy, but can you imagine running for president and bringing up...
Kissing a man? It's obviously something not resonating with voters because he's losing big time. He's lost every race, regardless of how they've manipulated the delegate count.
And everyone that's been brought up for president, including Barack Obama, has been groomed by somebody except for one person, and that's Mr. Escalator himself, Donald Trump. He wasn't groomed.
Yeah. Well, Bernie Sanders... Bernie Sanders he's a bum. His first steady paycheck he got when he was 40 years old when he got elected mayor. He didn't have a steady paycheck until he was 40 when he was elected mayor. I mean, he's a bum that got lucky.
Listen to this one. He had 269 laws that he wanted passed. You know how many he passed in all?
How many bills?
He approved of? 2.
Yeah, 2. Yeah. He's a doer. He's a doer. Well, if I'll tell you this though, let's just say if Trump wasn't in the race, all right, hold on, Richie. All right, Richie, thanks for the call. If Trump wasn't in the race, and this was like, we had like a weak candidate, and Bernie was there, I still wouldn't be nervous about Bernie becoming. I would not be. He has no chance of becoming president now, right? I mean, they're going to try to steal the nomination from him, which is going to be a huge disaster for them. But if we didn't have Trump, okay, and we had some John McCain type running right now, and Bernie looked like he was going to get the nomination, he might be the favorite. If John McCain or Bob Dole were running, like if this was, the 96 kind of level candidate or 08, he might have a chance. And you know what? I wouldn't be too worried about a Bernie Sanders presidency. And there would be some problems, but I wouldn't be as worried as you would think. And the reason is because he will not be able to get anything done in government. Because if he were to become president, no one would work with him. No one would work with him. They don't work with him now. That's why his 200 and some odd bills didn't get passed. So, Rush used to talk sometimes about how during the government shutdowns, those were great things because they weren't limiting our freedom. So I wouldn't be so concerned. He would get nothing done. Now, the only thing that would be concerning with someone like a Bernie Sanders is militarily, foreign policy-wise. That would be a big problem to worry about. But this is great. This is great because what I was talking about this in the start of the show at 6 a.m. What we are seeing that no one alive has seen is we are seeing one of the major political parties fade away into non-existence. Over the course of the history of the United States, there have been political parties come and go. But we've basically had these two parties since the Civil War, since before the Civil War, really a little bit before. And there have been other parties that have faded away. We've never seen that happen before, and we're experiencing it. When you go to Drudge, it's so interesting. Trump was praising Drudge, which really it used to be such a great thing, and now Drudge, But Drudge today, the headline on Drudge, let me see if it's still there. I saw it there at 6. Yeah. They right at the headline, it's the Socialist Democrats now. So Bernie wins the nomination. He loses to Trump. He is still the de facto leader of the party. And he will still be a Democratic Socialist. So when they nominate a man who says he's a Democratic Socialist, that'll be an official change in the party. And he will be their nominee until the next presidential election. That's a long time. And he's going to run around as a loser. If he gets the nomination, if they don't steal it from him, he's going to run around as a loser against Trump, but the most recent nominee of the party. And that has a lot of juice to it. That's why Mitt Romney during the 2016 campaign was so instrumental to the Never Trumpers and came out, well, they thought he was going to be, but it was a failure. But when he had his address to the nation on the dangers of Trump, remember that embarrassment? It was because he was our party's last nominee that he had the credibility that they thought they had. He didn't have enough. But you understand what I mean? Same goes for Bernie Sanders. He's going to run around for 4 years as the most recent nominee. And what he's going to do in that time is partner up with AOC and get more and more Democratic Socialists elected to House seats. And maybe even take on some of the incumbents in the Senate because AOC is eyeing Schumer's seat. I think she's turned 30. She's a grown-up now. She's old enough for the Senate. She'll be old enough for the Senate. So, that's a big danger to them. And the party will officially be either the only question is, will it be the Socialist Democrat Party or the Democrat Socialist Party? Which way will it go? Will it be social? Which will be first, Democrat or Socialist? That's the only question. That's what it will be. All right, listen, we'll take our break. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. It's 17 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll take our break and come back. Don't you go anywhere.
Does your life insurance policy only pay someone if you die? The new life insurance policies allow you to access your benefits even while you were still alive. Due to changes in the insurance industry, all life insurance carriers in 2020 have adjusted their premiums to your advantage. Life insurance rates have been lowered due to the updated mortality tables. People are living longer in America, and that means life insurance premiums are lower. Call Debbie and Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080 to learn more and for a free review of your existing life insurance policy. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right. We are back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You know, Friendly Tire on Margate is a miracle place. I mean, because the prices are so low on new and used tires. They have thousands of used tires in stock, starting at just $30 a tire, and they are very good quality, dependable used tires. The new tire prices are out of this world. You know, I was talking earlier, we have listeners that travel over an hour away to buy new tires over at Friendly Tire because the prices are so low. Let me go through these prices. Now, again, at Friendly Tire in Margate, they do not charge you to balance the tire. They don't charge you to mount the new tires. And they also don't charge you for the disposal of your old tires. No added charges. The price they give you are out the door and on the road. Same goes for used tires, too. No added charges for those either. So these prices I give you are out the door and on the road prices. My daughter, when we needed new tires for her car, the lowest price I could find around town was $135 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $65 a tire. That's a $70 savings. These are new tire prices out the door and on the road. A $70 savings per tire. The savings greater than the cost of the new tire. On my wife's car, the lowest price I could find around town, $165 a tire. At Friendly Tire, brand new tires out the door and on the road, just $75 a tire. That's a $90 savings per tire. That's great, isn't it? I know, it's absolutely amazing. On Steve's van, the lowest price around town we could find, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. A $100 savings per tire out the door and on the road. That's why listeners drive from over an hour away to get new tires at Friendly Tire, because these prices are so low. I know, $100 savings per tire? Wow, I know, it's absolutely amazing. So stop in or call Friendly Tire. If you want to stop in, I do have the address listed at stevekaneshow.com. You can go there so you can plug it into your navigation on your phone. Friendly Tire is located in Margate at 5415 Northwest 15th Street. And Northwest 15th Street is just north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7, okay, in Margate. Or you can call Mike directly. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. Or if you need help with directions, he'll give you those over the phone too. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445, and online, friendlytire.net. And Mike has all the name brand tires you know and love, Firestone, Goodyear, Michelin. He has all those available. 954-977-9445. That's Friendly Tire in Margate. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Oh, man, exciting times, people, exciting times. Okay, so let me get to some of this audio soundbite. There was one that was really pathetic. Hold on, let me see if I can find this one. Let me see if I can find this one here. Where is this one? Oh, yes. Okay, so Trump at the rally last week was criticizing this movie Parasite winning best film at the Oscars. And, of course, they're going nuts. And I've got nothing against the South Koreans. I do like South Korean television. They have a lot of good shows. I've watched a lot of good South Korean shows on Netflix. And I'll tell you, there's a really good one. There's a South Korean version of Designated Survivor. You know, the Kiefer Sutherland show. Theirs is much better than ours. It was pretty good. They call them K-dramas. Okay, K-dramas are pretty good. So I imagine Parasite's probably a pretty good movie. But Trump was attacking the Academy for giving the Oscar for Best Film to Parasite. You know, there's another category. Oscars are supposed to go to American movies. There's a category for Parasite. It's Best Foreign Film. Okay? So a foreign film is supposed to win the foreign film category. American movies are supposed to win Oscar for Best Picture. That's what. And Trump's president of the United States. Okay? America first, baby. Make America great again. Keep America great again. You know? And he said, where is, the Gone with the Winds today? What is it with this Parasite? Where is Sunset Boulevard? And, of course, CNN, no matter what Trump does, they hate it. Right? They always find something to criticize. They're very upset. So listen to this. Here's CNN's analysis of Trump saying that he enjoys Gone with the Wind.
One more story before the break. Trump raised eyebrows after slamming the critically beloved Oscar-winning film Parasite during a rally in Colorado this week.
The winner is a movie from South Korea. What the hell was that all about? We got enough problems with South Korea with trade. On top of it, they give it the best movie of the year. Was it good? I don't know. I'm looking for let's get Gone with the Wind. Can we get Gone with the Wind back, please? Sunset Boulevard.
Okay, beyond attacking the first non-English film to win Best Picture, Trump's comments make this nostalgia for a bygone era even more apparent. Because not only is the 80-year-old film Gone with the Wind profoundly racist by today's standards, let's not forget that Sunset Boulevard is a film about an aging, washed-up movie star who loses touch with reality. Too close up, perhaps.
Okay. That's CNN's analysis. Now, Gone with the Wind, I thought was owned by Turner, right? The founder of CNN, by the way. Is Gone with the Wind racist? Since when is Gone with the Wind racist? Gone with the Wind, many argue, and there's truth to this, that the modern civil rights movement began with Gone with the Wind because Hattie McDaniel, who played Scarlett O'Hara's Mammy in Gone with the Wind, the actress won the Oscar that year, and she was the first African-American woman to win an Academy Award. That's a historic civil rights movement. So to call Gone with the Wind racist, that opened up such an incredible opportunity for African-Americans in film. And she has a major role in that movie. That unlike any that had been seen before, and she won the Oscar for it. So, to take that away. And I, by the way, I love Gone with the Wind. My wife and I watch Gone with the Wind once a year. We watch Gone with the Wind. It'll be on television. I think we might own Gone with the Wind. I don't know, but I love Gone with the Wind, and I've seen Gone with the Wind maybe more than any other movie, even a Star Wars or a Star Trek movie. Maybe. It's hard to say because it's pretty long, but I love Gone with the Wind, and it's a great movie. It's not racist. It's actually pretty liberal, the way that movie is done. And Sunset Boulevard, he says at the end, Sunset Boulevard, which is another great movie that I just saw again not too long ago. I love Sunset Boulevard. You guys love Sunset Boulevard? Norma Desmond, of course, the main character and the screenwriter. You know, it's another movie where the star is a writer. There's so many movies where the star is a writer. You know, that's how writers are. Writers are always the heroes. But he's comparing Donald Trump to Norma Desmond. I'm not going to go through the whole backstory of Sunset Boulevard, but Norma Desmond was, just give you a little bit of it. She was her character was a big star during the silent era, and when talkies came in, boom, she was out. And it was about a movie star who's no longer a movie star, who is in denial and trying to relive being a movie star. And the final scene is one of the greatest scenes ever filmed. In my opinion, I love Sunset Boulevard. Donald Trump is not a washed-up anything, and he's at the top of his game and a superstar. He's president of the United States, and over 1 million people in India are lining up the streets cheering him on. Norman Desmond had a fantasy of people cheering her on. He has rallies anytime he wants them in America. He had a record-sized rally in India this morning, and the crowds on the street. Norma Desmond no longer had crowds, except when she, when she killed her lover, and then the press were covering her again, and then she was all excited. So I mean, so when you go back, CNN, they're mentally ill.
Can we get my Gone with the Wind back, please? Sunset Boulevard.
Okay, beyond attacking the first non-English film to win Best Picture, Trump's comments make this nostalgia for a bygone era even more apparent. Because not only is the 80-year-old film Gone with the Wind profoundly racist by today's standards, let's not forget that Sunset Boulevard is a film about an aging, washed-up movie star who loses touch with reality. Too close up, perhaps.
Too close up, too close to home, the guy's saying on CNN. You know, and that was written. That wasn't like off the top of his head. That was like written, and they put that in a teleprompter, and he read it. No one said, wait a minute. Oh my gosh, the Trump derangement syndrome's gotten pretty severe. And then David Frum. Did you guys see what this guy did? Oh my gosh. Now David Frum, he worked for GW, right? Wasn't he a speechwriter for Bush? GW Bush is my recollection. CNN, they've lost all sense of reality on CNN and NBC. This is David Frum talking about President Trump's fitness for office. Listen to this.
One of the things that Donald Trump tried to spread in 2016 was the idea that Hillary Clinton was somehow physically incapable of managing the presidency.
Okay, now what David Frum leaves out there, that was over the weekend. Hillary Clinton appeared at that 9/11 ceremony, and she had a heat stroke, if you remember. Remember, they had to carry her out and lean her against, was it a tree or a light post or something, until the vehicle came to pick. Remember that? Drive her to Chelsea's house to get her back in shape. She couldn't even stand for a ceremony, okay? And that's when this discussion of her physical fitness came up. But anyway, back to David Frum.
One of the things that Donald Trump tried to spread in 2016 was the idea that Hillary Clinton was somehow physically incapable of managing the presidency. I mean, it's audacious. Donald Trump was the oldest president ever, one of the fattest presidents ever, the least physically capable president since Franklin Delano Roosevelt was in a wheelchair. I mean, he can't pick up a ball, never mind throw it.
Wow.
But he was able to put into the minds of tens of millions of people the idea that Hillary Clinton, who's a very vigorous woman in good health, was somehow too sick to be president.
Right. One of many examples. We've certainly seen a lot.
Wow. So Trump can't pick up a ball. He can't throw a ball. He's one of the fattest. President Trump may not be the thinnest, okay? But he is nowhere near the fattest. Nowhere near the fattest. But I'll tell you what. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see... now this is David Frum talking about Trump over the weekend.
Things that Donald Trump tried to spread in 2016 was the idea that Hillary Clinton was somehow physically incapable of managing the presidency. I mean, it's audacious. Donald Trump was the oldest president ever, one of the fattest presidents ever, the least physically capable president since Franklin Delano Roosevelt was in a wheelchair. I mean, he can't pick up a ball, never mind throw it. But he was able to put into the minds of tens of millions of people the idea that Hillary Clinton, who's a very vigorous woman in good health, was somehow too sick to be president.
Okay, now David he said Hillary Clinton was a very vigorous woman. When? What year was that? 1978? Certainly wasn't the 2016 election cycle. You know what I'd like to see? I would like to see Donald Trump challenge David Frum to some athletic competition, is what I'd like to see. Let's see who can throw a football. You know, I kind of see David Frum. David Frum, by the way, isn't he a Canadian? Who do you think could throw a football further, Donald Trump or David Frum? I bet David Frum would throw the ball and it wouldn't even go. You know what I mean? You know how when guys throw a football wrong and it kind of spins around the wrong way? Let's see. He says he can't pick up a ball and he can't throw a ball. Let's put David Frum up against Donald Trump. Let's see who can throw a football. Let's see. Because that's David Frum's definition of what being a man is. And since, let's put Buttigieg in that too, right? Let's see how far he can throw a football too. Since David Frum has this new standard for what being a man is. All right, it's 33 minutes after the hour. We'll take our break. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll take our break. When we get back, there's much more to talk about, all right? Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning seminar. Learn how to prevent running out of money before you run out of life, being forced to spend down your assets, how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and more. This free Medicaid planning seminar is Wednesday, February 26th at 10 a.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 1-855-352-3782.
This is Steve Kane. I'm here chatting with Dr. Troy Lemaski, my personal chiropractor. Dr. Troy, how are you today?
Doing well, Steve.
Chiropractic is an art. All the nerves in your body go through your spine. If your spine's out of line, the nerves get pinched. And of course, you're going to have all kinds of symptoms and all kinds of pain as a result of that. And until you get that spine realigned, you're going to be in pain.
100% correct. If you have a joint, especially in your back, that's stuck, that's not moving properly, it will put pressure not only possibly on nerves, but more of the time on soft tissue structures such as the ligaments, the muscles, and it will create pressure. There are nerves within the joint called mechanoreceptors, and they will affect the actual nerves that are in the joint. Pinched nerves are very common, and they do come from spinal misalignments, but not everybody that has a problem has a pinched nerve.
You should have just met me there.
Relatively short.
You should have just met me there.
And you have the healing touch, I'll tell you that. When I walk out of your office, it's I feel like a whole new person. I know you take great care of everybody, but I know you're going to go that extra mile for our wonderful Steve Kane listeners. Doctor, give them the number of the office where they can make an appointment.
It's Coast Chiropractic Injury and Wellness Center, and the phone number is 954-463-3036. 954-463-3036. We're located in East Fort Lauderdale. We're just one block east of US 1 and Oakland Park Boulevard, right off Middle River Drive. The address is 2510 East Oakland Park Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale.
Dr. Troy Lemaski, a great healer. Make an appointment today.
Listen to the Steve
Take
Kane
the
Show
show's
on
over.
iHeartRadio.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You know, Save-A-Lot Nutrition Center also located in Margate. We're big in Margate, right? We got Save-A-Lot. We've got Friendly Tire. We're big in Margate.
That's the center of our city.
Exactly. Yeah. But Save-A-Lot in Margate's where I get all of my supplements, and I'm a big supplement person, and they have great prices over there. The number 754-307-1655, 754-307-1655. Save-A-Lot, located in Margate, just south of Sample Road on the west side of State Road 7, 441 in Margate. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. And they ship anywhere, by the way. If you're out of town, they will ship to you. 754-307-1655. You can give them a call, and they will ship to you anywhere. So, so lots going on today, Steve.
Yeah, I wanted to, if you do me a favor, can you just give me a rundown of the next 2 weeks? What's...
I had no idea what's the vote, the elections are the next. I know Colorado's coming up.
Next week, well, there's one this week. South Carolina.
Is South Carolina this week? I'm not sure what the schedule is. I don't know
I
offhand.
think it's South Carolina, and then I think the week after that is Super Tuesday or whatever.
Well, I know Colorado's coming up because that's where Mayor Pete brought the 9-year-old kid up to come out of the closet was Colorado.
What the hell was that about? I didn't see that on Fox.
Well, I guess they're
What's
not
the
covering the
story?
news on Fox.
Can you?
Well, I'll play it for you. 9-year-old boy, town hall, question at random.
9. And this is a really touching question. He says, thank you for being so brave. Would you help me tell the world I'm gay too? I want to be brave like you.
Yeah, I know. Can a 9-year-old be gay?
Is that a setup?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. And, you know, and I was talking about this for an hour. Yeah.
What a phony deal.
Well,
It's a setup.
yeah.
It's an exploitation of a child.
Super
It's
Tuesday is March
outrageous.
17th. March 17th is Super Tuesday, so that's a couple weeks away.
Oh.
It's like 3 weeks away.
But this week is.
I don't know.
This week is South Carolina.
I have no idea what the schedule is of the states offhand. I don't know. I do know this. Bernie's going to not win all of them, but win most of them. No one wins all of them. Even Trump didn't win every one.
So it's come down to what we had talked about. It looks like that Bernie's going to win.
Well, he's won every election so far. He's won all 3 states majority vote.
The question is, we have assumed from the beginning that the Democrats wouldn't let him win, but now it's looking like they may not have a choice.
Well, because he's got too big of a following.
That's what I'm saying.
Now he's got too big of a following. They can't commit enough fraud to stop it. You know, and notice that the union.
Beyond, what's that phrase they used to use?
The margin of fraud.
The margin of fraud.
And the unions didn't do Biden much good in Nevada.
No, that's true.
Yeah, I mean they've had three statewide votes, caucuses, primaries, and Bernie's won the majority vote in every one. He's got the momentum now.
Yes, he does, and he had the momentum from the last round.
I'm telling you, he's not going to be bought off this time. He will not be bought off this time by the Democrats.
Oh, that's an interesting. That's the remaining question.
There's more money and prestige in being the nominee than they could buy him off with, because he can make, for the rest of his life, he can make boatloads of money.
Even if he loses,
When you're a nominee, that's a big thing. You could, a lot of guys, they become the nominee of a major party and they ride that train for the rest of their lives, and there's a lot of money to be made in that. Yeah, they couldn't give him enough. He could make hundreds of millions off of being a nominee, even if he loses to Trump. They won't buy him off. And you can tell, I was talking about this earlier, you can tell by the way he's talking, he's already making plans for when he wins. He thinks he's got it.
Well, you don't know how seriously.
Oh, I can see. I watched him speak after the Nevada caucus this weekend, and it was a different person than a week. Yeah, he's got a lot more confidence. He actually has a little bit of personality, which he normally doesn't have. He was almost standing straight up, which is hard for him to do because he's usually hunched over. He's talking with more confidence.
He definitely needs a good chiropractor.
Yeah, he needs something.
Dr. Troy, we got to get him over to see.
Yeah,
Dr. Troy.
yeah.
No,
No.
he looks like Marty Feldman and Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awful.
Well, if you listen to Bernie Sanders today, he's got a lot more confidence because he feels it now. He's like almost there, and that nominating process is big money for him.
You're assuming that it's going to be that easy. I mean, you don't think the Democrats are going to put up a fight? You don't think they're going to try to pull something, even if they're not successful?
Yeah, well, they get away with it. I mean, when someone.
They've got to start making coalitions.
Last time you could make a case. Okay, Hillary Clinton, her husband was president of the United States. She was first lady. She had a big following. They have no one with a following now. I mean, Bernie's not just winning; he's winning big. He's won in the popular vote in landslides by thousands and thousands in every state they've had elections in, and they don't have any Hillary Clinton type running. So
well, that's the now you've hit the nail on the head. That's the big question now. Is somebody going to emerge to take a shot at it?
No.
No.
It's going to go to the convention. They're going to make the move.
This is set up with Hillary's craziness.
No.
For her to come in at the end and attempt to see herself
No.
as a savior?
No. They're going to go to the convention. There's going to be talk of brokering a convention. Bernie's people are going to rise up and start throwing chairs, and they're going to back off. They're not going to have a broker. I thought they were going to have a broker convention. I don't think they will anymore. I think they'll try, but Bernie's people are going to be so outraged when the discussion starts that they'll pull back, and yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. And now that he's got momentum after winning 3 states, he's sure to win most of the next one.
Well, that's the question.
That are coming up.
I guess the bottom line is...
Well, that's how it always works.
South Carolina is going to be the...
I don't think South Carolina is as important as it used to be.
What about the mayor from New York?
No, he's not going to win anything. He never was going to win anything. No one is going to win other than Bernie. He's not going to win every state. Someone, is going to pull out. He may not win South. I don't know.
Well, what's going to happen to Bloomberg? Start with that.
He's going to keep running, Steve, until he is forced out, because he's got enough money to keep going forever. He doesn't. These other people drop out when they run out of money.
Do you think there's going to be...
Well, listen. Let's take a break. Let's take a break.
This is the last question. Do you think there's going to be an attempt to rally around Bloomberg?
No, he's detestable. People hate Bloomberg. They've got no one. All of their people are disgusting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We got to take a break.
Let's take a break. We'll be back after this.
Lori Kane, and I'm going to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities. I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down.
I don't know what that is.
So I scheduled my appointment for the
talking
next
to them
Saturday
in the
because
chat.
Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth.
I had a whole thing going. I wasn't going to let him talk about Bernie Carrick.
Discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954.
Oh, I never heard of it. Never heard of it, Bruce.
4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Does your life insurance policy only pay someone if you die? The new life insurance policies allow you to access your benefits even while you are still alive. Due to changes in the insurance industry, all life insurance carriers in 2020 have adjusted their premiums to your advantage. Life insurance rates have been lowered due to the updated mortality tables. People are living longer in America, and that means life insurance premiums are lower. Call Debbie and Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080 to learn more and for a free review of your existing life insurance policy. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Wednesday, February 26th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
All right, we're back. Younger
on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Well, I was looking earlier and well, hell's breaking loose in the market. This may be the day. I keep looking for this spot to come in and if we get a little pullback on the gold and precious metals, we're looking for that. Maybe today will be the day to find out. Let's check in with a man who has been advising clients on trends and movements in the gold, silver, and platinum markets for over 50 years now. In fact, William Youngerman has been a spokesman here, or an expert on the matters of the precious coins for over 16 years right here on the Steve Kane Show. So will today be the day? William, what's it looking like?
Today is not the day that you're going to see a drop in the prices of gold, at least. The coronavirus fears are spreading worldwide,
and the markets are in absolute turmoil with the stock markets. The stock market now poised to open over 800 points down this morning. The U.S. 10-year bond below 1.4% as people run to bonds worldwide to find some kind of security or safety. And of course, gold participating big time in that, with gold up on Friday, $23.80, closing at $16.43. Silver was up 11 cents at $18.44. Platinum closed out last week at $9.76, which was down $2. While palladium closed up $24 at $2,614. This morning, everything's different. We got a high on gold this morning, overnight at $1,689. Wow. That was up over almost $40, with gold currently trading at $1,677. That's up $24 this morning right now, Steve. Silver up 26 cents at $18.70. It was much higher overnight also. Platinum and the commodity metals are more on the downside as the economies of the world are concerned about maybe a major recession as a result of the shutdown of so many companies worldwide over concerns of this virus. Platinum down $16 this morning at $960, and palladium down $56 at $2,558. Yeah. So gold again, the flight to safety has always been our currency of choice and it has been so for 5,000 years. So if you don't own any gold, as we've been saying all along, you need to position yourself with some of it, and then on any pullbacks, add to your positions. As I said, the stock market poised to open over 800 points lower this morning.
Well, it looks like it pulled back on platinum at least a little bit. You can get in there today.
Absolutely. Great buy on platinum right now as a hedge, and certainly a commodity that is rare, and I believe is going to go into more production of catalytic converters over the next couple of years as people, as they start to shed their use of palladium, which has gotten to be over 3 times the price of platinum.
Well, anybody out there also, I want to remind you that William not only sells the precious metals, but at William Youngerman, they purchase precious metals. If you have any gold or silver lying around the house, old antique jewelry, things like that, you can turn it into green cash. And today might be a good day to do that, especially if you have items made of gold. William, tell them how it works.
Yes, for over 50 years, we've made a good two-way market in all of the precious metals, regardless of the form that it's in. So if you've got gold, silver, platinum, jewelry, or any items that you're not using and you'd like to turn it into cash, you can bring it in. UK listeners always get a free appraisal on anything. And if you decide to turn it, to sell it, we can cash it in for you immediately.
All right, there you go. William Youngerman, located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. Now, that's the Bank of America building. You'll find William on the first floor directly across from the bank. You can reach him by phone from anywhere in the world, 1-800-327-5010. And don't forget that magnificent website that you ought to check out. It's like going to a museum at WilliamYoungerman.com. William, great talking to you, and we will check in tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day. Thank you.
You too, and we are back.
Oh boy, I got to tell you, this is great. The Democrats are just done. They're done.
Well, it hasn't.
Oh, it's been seen. You know, Bernie's winning everything. And AOC started this new pact to go against incumbent Democrats in the House that aren't conservative or aren't liberal enough. So I mean, they're imploding.
She wants Schumer's job.
Yeah. So they're done. I mean, the Democrats are just destroying themselves. You just got to sit back and enjoy it.
There is no way that AOC gets in the Senate. No way. At this point.
Don't be so sure. Don't be so sure. I mean, the power of Bernie. Look how Bernie's doing. You know, listen, Bernie's not going to win every primary, okay? He's going to lose. And as soon as he doesn't clearly win one, you'll oh, look, it's over. The wave is over. It doesn't matter. His people are animals. They're out of control. and they think they feel.
Is that a respectful way to talk about
Well, look how they act. They feel entitled to this, and they're never going to accept anything other than a Bernie Sanders nomination.
Well, maybe you ever think maybe they are entitled based on what happened last time?
They look to be entitled right now. Yeah, I would imagine, since they've got till March 17th for Super Tuesday, what the Democrats are doing now is they're going to those Super Tuesday states and trying to get the Democrat vote fraud machine fully operational to stop Bernie from winning as much or as big as he's been winning. That's what their whole focus is.
I don't know. Time is not on their side.
Well, Rahm Emanuel, this was Rahm Emanuel over the weekend, and the panic over Bernie.
Is Bernie Sanders unstoppable?
He's the front runner. He's not. He is stoppable. I don't know, but I would say this: the moderates have to coalesce around one person. If you have a divided field, we've seen this play out in the Republican primary in 2016. If there is not kind of a singular mano a mano, then he's going to get the delegate.
Okay, so Rahm Emanuel says the only way he can be stopped is if all the other ones drop out except one, and they all endorse the one that's still running against Bernie in the primaries. Otherwise, it's done. And they're not.
Do you think what he's saying is true?
Yeah, but that's never going to happen. Who's going to drop out? Is Elizabeth Warren going to drop out and say, okay, we all need to support Biden? Is Biden going to drop out and say we all? Is Biden going to drop out and say we all need to support Pete? Come on.
What they have to pray for is, and it is a prayer, I'll tell you, a wing and a prayer, that Bloomberg makes some kind of a showing. And maybe they can use that as an excuse to try to get behind Bloomberg.
Bloomberg.
It's going to be Bernie, I think they're going to be willing to do what it takes to try to stop
The only debate now is when the Democrat Party changes its name, will it be Socialist Democrats or Democrat Socialist? Which is Socialist first or second in the new name of the party? Because it's changed. The party is now the.
That's the only controversy.
That's it. Is it the Socialist Democrat or the Democrat Socialist Party? Is that the new name? Because it's no longer the Democrat Party of yesteryear. I mean,
you don't look for any. You don't make allowances for any surprises.
If anyone but Bernie gets the nomination, it'll be theft, and Bernie and his people are not going to stand for that. It'll be chaos.
What are they going to do? So they'll start a riot.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. By the way, I was on Friday. I was talking to Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot, and our 2020 Trump victory cruise is just skyrocketing to success, Steve. So many people Thursday and Friday made reservations to join us on our cruise. We're leaving December 6th out of Fort Lauderdale for our Trump 2020 victory cruise, and the cruiser group is growing. This is going to be. I think this is going to be our biggest, most exciting cruise yet, December 6th for 7 days. There's just so much buzz going on around this Trump 2020 victory cruise that we had a lot of momentum on our past cruises, but this one there's more buzz going on over the Trump 20 because we'll be right after the re-election of the president. It'll be the time between the re-election and the second inauguration, and people are getting really excited about it.
Sure does look good for Trump.
Oh, please.
Did you get to see any of the footage this morning?
No, I was on the radio. I'm sorry, I was here on the radio. I couldn't watch TV, but I did hear of it.
It's inspiring, I'll tell you. He's an amazing guy, Trump.
Yeah.
We're living in bizarre times.
No, but it's great. I was talking earlier, I'm a little upset with President Trump because that rally over there had so many people in it. It's making our rallies over here look small because we don't have venues as big as they have in India. You know what I mean? They had over 100, well over 100,000 people in that arena. 145,000, 125,000.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and that was just in the arena. And we just don't have venues that big over here. So he's making our rallies look like, Beto gatherings.
I heard your Rick the Deficit Hawk call in this morning. I would have loved to have known what he had to say, but you let him go too.
I'll give him your cell phone number. You guys can talk all day.
No.
Call back, Rick. Steve wants to talk to you.
On the air. I'd love to have him call back. He's a great caller.
Great?
Yeah.
No. He's had a moment or two of being interesting.
When properly played, he's very entertaining.
There's no way you could make Bernie Carrick entertaining. I could care zero about Bernie Carrick and his pardon. And that's all he wanted to talk about today.
Well, I would have loved to hear what he had to say.
I think he was opposed to it. Well,
Well, I mean.
Call me, Rick. I give you Steve's number. You guys.
No, not off the air.
Oh, okay. That's true. Anyway, we're all out of time. So
That does it for today. We thank you for joining us. We will be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. On behalf of Brian, my partner over here, and I'm Steve Kane. Until tomorrow, God bless America.
Does your
All right,